All right. G'day, PAX. First of all, we'd like to start with welcome to country. So we respectfully acknowledge that we are meeting on the traditional lands of the Kulin Nation and pay our respect to elders past, present, and emerging. So this is Chaosium Presents Call of Cthulhu. I hope some of you are familiar with role-playing. I hope some of you are familiar with Call of Cthulhu and horror investigation in the Cthulhu mythos. We are also going to be doing a giveaway today. So you all should have been given stubs at the door, so we will run that after the stream. So we'll do that. And yeah, you don't get anything. You've already got it. Nice try, though. You get to sit on the stage. Pretty flash. So today we are running a scenario called Scritch Scratch. It was written by Lynn Hardy. This is a modern Call of Cthulhu scenario. So this is taking place in the 2020s. There's cell phones, they'll lose connection. And they've got RVs and cars and things. That's all pretty flash. First of all, I'd like to start with a quick content warning. So this is a horror scenario. There's going to be spooky nonsense, and specifically I want to flag vermin, sacrifice, and body horror for this session. So if you're ever uncomfortable, feel free to step away. But yeah, let's get into it. All right, so my name is Dave. I do work at Chaosium as part of the digital content team, and today I will be your keeper of arcane lore for Call of Cthulhu. I'm going to start off by setting the scene, and then we're going to go down the table, and we're going to introduce each player and their investigator for the session. To begin with, we're looking at northern England. There is a winding road that travels through deep forested hills and descends into a valley. There's a tiny village there called Muscovy. It's a small collection of houses, and along the edge of it, there is an oversized parking lot that has recently been built. Pulling into it, we see a large RV with the logo BBB Productions written along the side. It is following a small and kind of outdated white van with Martin's Cleaning Services written on the front. As the two cars park in the parking lot and our investigators begin to step forth, I'll ask Jackson to introduce himself and his investigator.
Hey, that's me. I'm Jackson. My pronouns are he and him, and I don't know if you've noticed, you can always tell someone's first panel at a convention when they walk out and take photos of the audience. That's how you know you're dealing with newbies. Here I am. I'm coming back to Twitter. I'm Acton Jackson. I'm streaming every week with most of these fine folks in the Chaosium Twitch channel, and I'm helping out with campaign coins. We make real metal props for role-playing games and board games. And we do a bit of streaming too as well. And today, I'll be playing Paul Martin, or Mr. Martin, if you don't mind. You see him stepping out of the van. He's a middle-aged gent in coveralls and white gloves, and he has a utility belt full of variously coloured plastic bottles of chemicals. He's here to do his job and go home.
Fantastic. Nice. Stellar.
I knew that was coming, and that still got me.
So to get into specifics, what have you been hired to do? What's your role here?
Well, Martin's Cleaning Services specialise in the latest cleaning equipment and chemicals to clean your home and business at a reasonable price.
Was that reasonable or unreasonable?
At a reasonable price. We specialise in reasonable prices. And we've been hired to clean the house of one Mr. Gertine, who is a local rat catcher who is taken ill in hospital, and he would like to clean his abode.
Fantastic. Next, Alex.
Hello, I'm Alex, she, her. You can find me across the internet, mostly Twitter, on VLXCat, C-A-T, VLXCAT. Today, I am playing Shirley Martin, a middle-aged woman, and Paul's wife. Paul was also wearing a wedding ring. He didn't mention that. Often forgets. I'm also wearing a wedding ring. She is very well put together, almost too well put together for a woman who's just stepped out of a cleaning van. And when you talk about reasonable prices, well, if they're a little less reasonable, if they're perhaps a little bit more unreasonable, I could have gone back to acting a little bit sooner, and yet here we are.
So here you are, and you're being followed by a production RV. What is the connection between that and a cleaning company?
Oh, here we go.
Well, my husband has the best cleaning business in the region, much better than anybody else's, and that's why we've been taken on board by this, what was his name again? I don't remember.
Mr. Gertie.
Mr. Gertie, who's in hospital, is quite unwell, but he's also quite a hoarder, so this is going to be quite a horrific hoarding situation, we've been told. So we've brought a production company along as well to do a bit of a reality TV show for us, and it's a fantastic idea. It's going to get a little bit more revenue for us, and it's also a chance to be back in front of the camera, which I'm really excited about, actually.
Fantastic. Yeah, hell yeah. All right, we're going to move along to Bridgett, please.
Just as an FYI, you guys are already an incredible audience. Like, round of applause for yourselves.
hell yeah.
Thank you for being amazing already. Hi, everyone. My name is Bridgett Jeffries. I am a Chaosium community ambassador, which is a really sexy way to say I help people self-publish playable content onto several platforms that Chaosium offers for Call of Cthulhu, RuneQuest, or 7th Sea, and I will stop talking there so I don't get in any more trouble. But that is one of my passions I absolutely love to do. But today, or I should say tonight, I am playing, pronouns are she, her. Sorry, I always forget that. Today, I am playing Ellie Stamford. She is 22, and if you're familiar with the Call of Cthulhu rules, usually 100 is like your peak. Her appearance is a 90. Woo! So she is devastatingly hot. Like, to the point that it's probably distracting or uncomfortable, but she is doing everything in her power to put that behind. She should be on the front of the camera, but she's actually the sound engineer. So she's constantly wearing long sleeve shirts, long pants, typically in dark colors, so she can move things, move in and out of scenes and things of that nature. So she is a member of the BBBB, here along with her rest of her production crew.
Fantastic. Yeah.
See, you guys are awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
All right, beauty. So what is BBBB's role here, and what are you going to be doing in Muscogee and then moving up towards the house itself?
So the BBBB, we were hired to actually film the cleaners who are going to be cleaning out this house at the time. In talking with the direction staff, we are going to try to get into town and do some like side interviews just for additional depth and atmosphere. So if we could interview some of the locals, just to kind of get a broader picture of everything that we're here to collect.
But we're the stars.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. That's been articulated to us multiple times, yes.
By you. Fantastic. Let's move along to Art.
Hi, I'm Art. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me online on Twitch at unfiltered and also with these lovely folks on the Stream of Chaos. You can also find me on Twitter at unfiltered_art because I could not find the username the same twice. This evening, I will be playing Tommy Chambers, who is to say he's thick as a fence post is a bit rude to fence posts. He's not the brightest lad, but he is an excellent cameraman. So we'll be here filming these cleaners, among other things. And that's all I got to say about that.
Now, I don't want to bring it up so early, but I've actually heard there's been some scandalous rumors about BBBB Productions. Care to elaborate?
You what, mate? Just because it's between me and some friends. No, 4B Productions has been accused of faking footage. Before, however, we have some very extensive NDAs, like 2 paragraphs, I think. It's a lot. I get tired reading that much. And that's mostly saved our ass, you know, because if you threaten to sue the pants off someone, they tend to shut up, usually. So, you know, just a little bit of faking some kind of shit, you know? Do you know what a chromatic aberration is?
No?
Great, neither do I.
So if we find out. All right, fantastic. And lastly, James.
That's me. My name is James. Hello.
The nickname won't go. It's stuck.
We're not
It's
letting
staying.
that
I am James, otherwise known as Big Jim, unfortunately, to my immense chagrin. My pronouns are he, him. I'm an assistant editor of Call of Cthulhu at Chaosium, as well as part of the digital content team. And this evening, I will be playing Amanda Peterson, and I am a director. I am the kind of person who practices the last true art form that exists on this planet. I only watch films that say Finn at the end. Unless everybody is sad and dying, I write an extensive review on my letterbox, which you should all follow, about how terrible it is. This is a serious art form, and I will not have it mocked.
Yeah. I will say, that doesn't bode real well for the cleaners, does it?
Not in particular.
So, Amanda, as the director, you set a lot of this up and you got the wheels in motion. What secret do you know?
Okay, well, here's where things get just a little bit interesting. We're not just filming a cleaning documentary here. No. That would be far too boring. And I'm the kind of artist who needs everything to be exciting. It needs to be edge of your seat. The house that we are sending those poor yokels to is haunted. And it is real nasty. That place is filled with the bodies of dead things in the walls and all kinds of horrible stuff. We have set this whole thing up so we can really make them squirm, get the reactions, make a ton of money out of it because we're very ethical people.
So hang on, because I'm sound, but also, like, you know, production stuff. You sent me out for a bunch of dead fucking animals?
It's very simple. You have to listen to what I say, and you have to do what I say when I say it. It shouldn't be that complicated. We shouldn't be running into this many problems, really.
What?
I just point the camera at what I say to point it at. Good.
Crack team.
Yokel.
So, as the cleaning crew unloads from the van, you can see in the back that it's loaded up with cleaning supplies, barrels upon barrels, mops, brooms, everything else you might expect. There's also a small kit in the back where they could sleep overnight if they need to do long shifts. Loading out of the RV, you'll see it's got setups for monitors and things where the production crew can actually work on their TV show while on the go, as well as bunk beds towards the back where they too can crash if they need to spend the night or two on the road. As they pull into Muscovy, this large parking lot is almost completely barren despite being in like the height of summer. This is tourist season. This is when it should be heaving. And across the side of the road, you can see a small gift shop, which is closed down. No one seems to be coming or going. There's a little cafe or tea shop attached to it, which is open. And there's a couple people sitting at tables outside. And across the road, there's a pub, which has a couple people that have decided that midday is a good time to start drinking. I pass it to the five of you. You need to get directions to actually find the Ratcatcher's hut so you can get up there and get started. And additionally, it wouldn't hurt to get a couple of interviews while you're in town. What do the five of you want to do?
I'll take command of the situation real soon, start ordering people around. But first of all, I'm going to get down out of the RV and do a little bit of, yoga preparation, start centering myself, getting ready. I need to get the creative juices flowing so that I can be truly impactful in my filmmaking.
Amanda, do you want us in these interviews? Do you want us to be in these ones? The just in the background. Should we park the van somewhere in particular?
I just
so you
need a
get the
second,
logo
if you don't mind. Look, why don't you just start getting everything ready for a moment?
Miss Peterson, I like working in the daylight. The daylight's getting away.
Well, look, it's important for us to get a little bit of footage with you talking to the people. I mean, surely you know that whatever business you work in, you really work in marketing. You'll be talking to everybody. You'll be presenting yourself well to the locals. Otherwise, why would they have you back to clean more?
I clean, and when it's clean, they ask me to come back.
Just one. Would you do? Actually, no. It's probably best if he doesn't do those.
We'll get directions to the house. That's all.
How about this? How about you go and get some directions, some real directions, and we'll follow you along and observe your process. I just need to talk to my crew for a moment to make sure we're... Hey.
You don't have to get people's directions. You know that. I can do that.
You're not gonna look at those maps again, are you? You know they just make it up.
They don't make up the.
They make up the maps, make you drive around for longer. That's how they get you. They're in bed with the fuel companies, all of them. No, you keep that phone on airplane mode like I told you to.
It was the GPS.
Well, you keep that in airplane mode too.
It's part of the van.
Well, then...
It's in the dashboard. You forgot to install them. You have to update the...
I'm not gonna...
We follow them, we get everything, okay? Don't miss any of it. Make sure the lens cap is off, all of those problems we've had before, and I'm not blaming anyone.
That sounded like blaming, ma'am.
Well, you can interpret things how you would like to, as long as you get it right. Come on, we follow them along, they're gonna get...
Do you
Amanda,
want
Amanda, sorry. When we're doing these interviews with the... I know you're interviewing them, but are you going to film us asking directions as well? Yes?
We're going to film you doing everything,
Great, that's
okay?
That's great.
Just
Sorry.
follow your heart, and we'll get all the
Right.
footage we need.
Miss Martin, Mr. Martin, may I mic you up, please?
Oh, right.
And then she'll work her way over there with her equipment, make sure that they're mic'd up properly, go back to her little studio headset. I'm sure the actual audio engineers here are like, what the hell is she talking about? Sorry, I respect what you do, love you guys. And we'll make sure that all of their audio sound systems sound great.
And I go to put GoPros on them and then realize that's going to capture what they see, not them, get very annoyed, and I have to lug the camera out, start setting up the camera, and we'll follow them around.
You do have the lens off, right? Yeah.
I'd like to take a look around and see if I can find anything in this town that I reckon would make a good scene. Anything that looks a bit dramatic, has good background, you know, just in general.
Any kind of,
are there any spots that stand
Gothic
out?
cathedrals or something like that, you know?
It's a bit short on Gothic cathedrals, being a small town in a valley.
I'm going to the pub.
The pub looks like an older building. You could definitely shoot it as being sort of mired in history rather than just dilapidated and a
Oh,
bit
the Martin's
shit.
gone.
Oh,
Going to the pub. He's
that
going to the
seems
pub.
to be
I'm
the
going to the
direction.
pub.
Right, all
Let's
right.
go, follow along.
Okay.
Who is the closest person at the pub? Is the tables outside?
Yep, so
Perhaps?
heading up towards the pub, it's a squat building with the roof beginning to tumble in. It looks as though it had a bit of an uplift. They got a fresh coat of paint on it, but they didn't finish the whole building. It looks like they stopped about halfway through. Out the front, there's a couple of hedges and small wooden tables. Seated around with there are some local farmers and people that work in the region. You can see that there is a bloke who presumably runs it or works behind the bar. Young guy with one glass eye that keeps locked in a fixed position, and the other darting around to find empty glasses that he can collect up and take inside. Additionally, there is a woman who's seated right along the edge and keeps on looking across towards the gift and attached cafe, making sure that there's no one lining up at the doors that wants to get in, because then she'll run over and open it. On the interior, it's very musty and dark, low wooden ceilings, and pretty hard to get any good shots without light, so you need to bust torches out and things. That said, they do a fine Sunday meal, and you could get a pint as well if you want it.
We're on the job.
Sorry.
Do I get the impression that the woman gazing around the establishment seems to be the person in charge?
Not in charge.
I
She's
inquire
attempting-
about the publican. Where might I find the publican?
Excuse you?
I'd like to inquire about the publican.
I'm sorry,
know
that's
what
one more
he's saying?
time.
Can you hear him?
He'd like to know who the owner is.
Ah, right, sorry. That would be young George, the bloke moving around the area. You'll be
Oh
directed
gosh, he
towards
is
him.
young. Umna. People are doing all sorts of things at all sorts of ages now, I
As the
suppose.
five of you assemble here, you already begin to make a bit of a scene. All the camera crews setting up, and once the RV pulled in, people are definitely watching you as you approach. What's the strategy?
Fresh coat of lipstick, straight up to the publican, young George. Good afternoon.
Right, how are you?
Are they rolling? They're rolling. I think they're rolling. Are they rolling? They're rolling. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well. What's all this?
Paul Martin Cleaning Supplies. We're here to clean the house of your one Mr. Gertie, and we're hoping you might provide directions.
Oh, right, yeah. You're the ones the council hired.
Aye.
Pleased to meet you. I'm George Fletcher. Just
I
get
heard,
called-
young George, you're the publican. You might be able to provide us directions to your old Mr. Gertie's house so we can get going.
Sure, I can help you out easy enough. It's not real hard. You just follow the road up there. You'll find an old mailbox begun to fall off its post. Turn right and follow it as far as it goes. It's a bit of a hoof, though. Looks like you got the RV. You'll be camping out there.
Oh, yes, we expect this to take a little bit of time. We have heard that he might have a little bit of a hoarding problem.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular you can tell us about his homestead that may help us, that might help us with knowing what to bring out of the van?
Sure. Yeah. I can help out. Sorry. Am I being recorded?
Yes.
Legally, we can talk about that later. Why don't we, what, you were in the middle of a sentence.
Yeah, actually, could you start that one from the top? It's going to be real hard to cut that.
Okay.
He pauses for a moment and just angles the pint glass so the logo's facing out.
Yeah! I do.
George has got it. George knows what he's doing.
I will zoom the camera slowly towards the logo, and then as everything starts kicking up again, I realize I'm way too close to the pint and quickly zoom back out again, which is gonna look so fucking confusing in post.
Right, so, what was the place again?
Why don't you ask if there's any stories about the place? Ask a bit about its history, you know? That might be a good angle.
Right, yes, of course.
Also, ask young George why he's called Young?
I don't think that's his...
It's just because my dad's still around and he's old George.
Rumors about the place's history, please.
Rumors, but we're just going there to... Okay, yes, of course, Amanda. Directions to the place would be delightful, but also anything that you could potentially tell us that would help us in our work. We understand it's a hoarding situation. Is there anything else that the townsfolk here might know?
He pauses for a moment, and you can see a couple people listening in on this conversation. One old boy's got his pipe out, he's puffing away and just keeping an ear out. And I'm going to ask you to make either a charm or a persuasion roll.
Ooh. First roll.
Guess what I did?
That's what we're all here for.
Roll high.
Get some random numbers out of these rocks.
It's going to be...
Did we realize we were playing more charismatic than we are?
Charming.
Charming.
She's not persuasive.
What is your charm skill?
My charm skill is 55 and my roll is 50.
Okay, that's going to be a success.
Yeah.
Well done. All right, fantastic.
That's a success.
First success. 100%. We just won't roll again.
Charming.
All right. He nods along and sort of does seem to be enjoying being recorded as well. And he goes, "Look, I'm not one to speak ill of those that are sick or anything, but old Gertine's always been odd. He's a weird fella. Tourists won't come here, or they won't stay, given he hangs those rats he catches up on nails along his fence, and anyone that goes hiking near it spooks him right off. I'm not gonna...
entitled to his hobbies on his own private property, I think you'll find.
Well, I think the fence might be the issue.
Amanda.
That being the
If
outside
he
fence
built
being...
the fence with his own two hands, he's entitled to hang whatever he likes on it, far as I'm concerned.
Cut his mic.
Okay. We will clip the mic to whom are we cutting again? Okay. And she'll cut that mic very politely.
He nods and goes, "Look, I'm not against whatever he wants to do, but it's this place is quiet. No one comes, and truth be told, there's not much money in farming around here anymore. We need tourism. It's the only thing that brings in fresh coin, and hikers don't want to hike past corpses."
Well, we'll get rid of those quick smart, I suppose.
It's appreciated. Look, you have the directions, and if you want to ask around, you're free to. Help yourself to a table, help yourself to the Sunday special, and enjoy your stay.
Well, now hold on a moment. The man's ill in hospital, I understand.
Sure.
What's his condition? Is he likely to come back home and inspect our work? Or is this a clean and empty job?
I don't know. If you talk to one of the council members, that's Miss Albright over there, Luce. She runs the tea shop, and she would have been one of the ones that hired you. You can speak with her, and she might know more.
I love small towns. It's many hats.
Yes, lots to speak to.
That sounds like a good idea. Why don't the two of you go over and speak to her, and we should have a word about release forms and all the like, stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
sure, I can
The
sign.
camera's going to keep rolling on us, yes?
We'll follow you in just a
Great.
moment.
Good.
Okay.
Miss Albright.
The Martins both head across to Lucy, a looks about 30s blonde woman
Everyone's
seated at
younger
a
than me,
table
huh?
with a pint that is slowly going stale, and she will look up and catch your eye and can talk with you. The three of you, however, what's following along? Honest footage?
Not quite yet. I'd like to lean in to young George for just a second and say, listen, it just so happens we're filming a little something that could be very, very valuable for the tourism industry of the town that you're so interested in. We could really use a few shots, and I know you're interested in showing off that logo, so if you can give us a couple of sound bites, we can get our team up close and something that will really help out, really put this town on the map.
What are you after?
Well, we've heard, and you don't need to confirm anything, but we've heard that there's some real weird stories up at that house.
Look, like I said, I don't want to speak ill of the sick and the absent.
Oh, no, I understand. This is all just, it's just for a movie. Just maybe a little, right? Doesn't have to be real.
Can you go ahead and give me either I presume, charm or persuasion roll? What are you thinking?
I think I will go with a persuasion roll, and I will use my brand new set of Q Workshop Call of Cthulhu branded dice
Immediately
available now.
That was subtle, right?
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, real smooth, real easy one.
Snuff it in there.
And they gave me a.
What's your skill, first of all, that we're rolling
Okay.
under?
It's not going to matter.
That's either really good or really bad.
My persuade is 55. I'm a pretty persuasive person. I have rolled 100. That is a
Oh.
fumble.
All right, mate.
That's the worst number.
He takes some offense to your implication that he might be willing to sort of basically sell out one of the locals and begin to walk towards you and say, listen, I want to see those forms now, and truth be told, I'm not too keen on you getting any of that footage. Why don't you back up, show me your forms, and you get that fucking camera out of my face. Get these mics off me as well, all right? I'm not doing this anymore.
You two go after them. I'll take him with the forms. I'll try and placate this guy for a while.
Try and ooze him
those
over.
two to continue on.
That said, it's enough that by the time Lucy looks up and sees the two of you coming, it's in the context of young George having a bit of a hissy and pushing the supporting team away. As he begins to pull off your mics and things, he's not handling it very well at all. Things are going to get broken if he
And
continues.
she looks so heartbroken and so pitiful, and she's just really laying on that, oh my goodness, you're yanking at my equipment, and my boss is an idiot, and I am really sorry, and she's doing everything she can to try to relay that as charmingly as possible.
Yep, okay, so you're trying to sort of like ease the situation,
Right,
be
like,
friendly.
oh, please, I can help you with that. I'm so sorry. He's really bad with people. She's really bad with people, and we're trying to charm that down a
Okay,
bit.
trying to ease it down. Go ahead and give me a charm roll.
All right, guys,
I
this
don't
is
know
a
if
60?
this will help or hinder. I am filming everything.
As he begins to just rip off
Yeah.
content. Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, hey, this is good time. So her skill is a 60. She rolled an 18, which is going to
nice.
be a hard success.
Well done, under half. Awesome, that's great.
So she's probably a little closer than she needs to be. She doesn't like using her looks to manipulate the situation. That was something that she was battered with all through college, but when she needs to use it, she will. So she's in close, and she's like, no, I'm so sorry. She's just like that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's just enough to kind of placate him long enough that he looks down at you and he says, so this is what you're doing, is it? Just aggravating folks going into small towns and
No,
teasing out secrets?
No, that wasn't our intention, and I'm so sorry that she portrayed herself that way. What we're really looking for is an authentic look at this town that you love, at this place that you've grown up. We're very curious about the life of, I will find this NPC's name in just a second. I can find it. Girl, thank you. Yeah, Oswald Girl Team. And my sincerest apologies for her behavior.
Look, I get it, he's weird, but maybe just consider how you're handling yourselves. And he continues unclipping it and kind of passes it across towards you.
Just one quick question about something you said earlier, and this is an in-game, out-of-game question to make sure I heard it right. Did you say that he was stapling rodents to the fence post?
Yeah. Look, this place has always had a rat catcher. There's a bit of a problem with it, and someone's got to deal with it. But yeah, his methods leave something to be desired.
She wants to ask a follow-up question, but she's not going to push this particular gentleman any further. Thank you so much for your time.
And I will say also that that last thing won't have been gotten on sound. Unless you try to do something sneaky, he will have disassembled it for this last point. Although muted, you will have gotten the video of it.
Could I pull a stealth?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you
don't
want,
botch this.
do you want to, so I would say it's either sleight of hand
Okay.
to surreptitiously hook it up, or it could be something like electrical repair to say you've got something rigged that you're able to place. What do you think? Have you done this before? Because I mean, he's kind of accusing you of being underhanded and a bit sneaky.
Oh,
Are
yeah, with
you?
all the pending lawsuits and NDAs, yeah, she's got this in the bag.
Yeah,
So-
you had the second mic already
There's
rolling.
a second mic on her. Yeah, oh, yeah, we got
That's
this.
why you're
absolutely.
getting closest for your one.
Right,
Yeah,
she
hell
can't
yeah.
wait to put in a 2-week notice. Yeah, so let's go ahead and try electrical repair if I
All right, hell yeah. Let's see if you got it hooked up.
All right, fam, this is going to be a 60, and she rolled a 38.
Okay,
So regular
all right.
success.
Just enough.
Good.
Contingencies on contingencies.
On contingency.
Yeah, hell yeah.
With this crew?
All right, just close up. It's going to be a little bit muffled, but you slap some subtitles on it. It just makes it look more exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. All right. You grab that, you get a bit of footage. The two of you approach Lucy. He's looking up at this confrontation with George, and when you follow the line of sight, you will notice the cameras are following that conversation, not yours currently. And she goes, I'm so sorry. What's happening? Aren't you the cleaners?
We are, yes, we're the cleaners. We've gotten ourselves a little bit lost. We were looking for directions, which I think we've got. And just anything you can potentially tell us about. Excuse me for a second. Amanda, hi.
Go
Hello?
over now. I think I've withdrawn a little after
Amanda?
that. I'm kind of staying back a bit, letting the camera crew do their work.
What are we focusing on, camera crew?
Amanda.
B-roll, kind of nice bit of, wooden paneling, bit of like hanging pint glasses from some nice hooks. There's a lot of like plaques of all the old folks that drank here, and I think they were maybe famous, but I don't know because I don't recognize any of the names. I think there might be a sir in there somewhere. And then just kind of going, oh, that's a nice stool, isn't it? And then a slightly too long focus on a full pint of beer that good old Tommy's just like, I'll have that later.
Paul,
If
they
the
have to be
lad's
filming
not
us.
doing his job, not inclined to wait for him.
Right.
Miss Adelson?
Albright.
Albright, close.
It's got an A.
Rounds off.
It's got an A in it. Yes, Ms. Albright, Paul Martin, I believe you spoke to my wife Shirley on the phone. We just want to know what exactly is... yeah?
Tommy. She's like,
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
no,
Good.
we're good.
Yeah, I would have spoken to your wife on the phone. I'm glad you found me. I do have a key for you as well.
Oh, excellent.
And a small package. I'll fetch it in just a moment. But you didn't mention a camera crew.
Didn't we?
I assumed the production company would be handling all that, given that they're the production company.
It won't affect our service, Miss Albright. I can assure you it will be done to the highest standards that Martin's Cleaning Services can provide at the same reasonable prices.
I am glad. What is the... I don't mean to be rude. What is the appeal of filming a cleaning crew?
An excellent
Well,
question.
you know, well, it was the popularity of reality TV shows in the last few years, as well as, have you heard of the show Hoarders?
Sure, we get
What's
that.
the brain?
It's gone quite well for everybody involved, and it's a wonderful way for us to diversify the business as we get a little bit older and are potentially looking to investigate other pursuits and spend a little bit less time on the road. It'll be popular, it'll be great, everyone will love it.
She can kind of feel the tension.
Not the
And
big
she
guy.
says, I'll get the key.
Thank you. We like
Lucy's...
to work in the light.
Yes, which is getting away from us.
Lucy hops away to fetch the key and will return shortly. Young George finishes signing off the forms and can, go through any minor conversations, but you've kind of burnt some bridges, etc. around here. You've gotten a good chunk of B-roll and...
I want to be very clear, I did get that last bit. Of the conversation.
Okay, all right, perfect.
Just that last bit, because, it's the human element that makes things interesting, and also that was fucking funny.
Tommy, real quick, when you start putting this together, I want you to make it look like you really, really flipped out. Put it all forward for drama, make it intense, maybe cut away right so it looks like he attacked us, something like that.
Mr. Martin?
No. The young George, the locals are a little creepy. It's a scary town. I trust your judgment here.
All right. Filming this too. You told me to not, if I stop filming, I have to put the cat back on. I will forget. So this is what you get.
Great. Let's go.
With the key collected, you can all gather back at the van. Is there anything the five of you want to go over before you depart, or do you make your way?
I'm going to pick a small, round, black object up off the ground. This looks like a lens cap. Do you guys, is this yours?
What?
Do you need this? I think this is this yours?
Yes.
It was on the...
I put it in my back pocket. It's got a hole in it, I forgot.
Uh-huh. We know there's a hole in it, we can tell, we can see it.
Yeah, look, just take it and let's get on the road, where I find myself agreeing with Mr. Martin. We're going to lose the light.
Okay, thank you.
Cameras, they don't
Stretching
work
golden
so
hours,
great
best
in
light.
it. Okay.
The two cars are loaded back up, and as the van starts the engine, it begins to mosey around the corner, through the town, and up into the woods beyond. The RV follows along behind it, bouncing along, with probably Tommy posted up in the back, already beginning to, upload some of the footage and go over things. This is modern Call of Cthulhu, so each of you have access to cell phones and things, and as you're going along, you can already begin to see the bars beginning to drop down.
Paul doesn't have a cell phone. Technology breaks when it gets within about 5 meters of him.
Don't need it. My daddy didn't have it, and his daddy didn't have it, and his daddy before him didn't have it. So why should I need it? Nope, no one can answer that.
Oh no, I can't check Reddit.
While we've got a second, though, and, while Tommy is frantically trying to check his phone, I might have a very quick word with Ellie, if that's all right. I want to just say congratulations for diffusing that situation. You were fantastic.
You were really rude.
Well,
I've been wanting to say that for a while. It's just not, you're not just rude to the people we film, you're rude to me, you're rude to Tommy, you're just in general a rude person, and I've been meaning to say that for the last couple years. Sorry, you were saying?
You've passed my test. I've been so hopeful that you would stand up to me like that. You and I, we're the kind of people who can go very far in this industry together, but we've got to be willing to really, push the boundaries a bit. This isn't safe filmmaking. We live in an age where everything's different. I think that you and I could work very, very well together, and just based on that little conversation, I just wanted to ask, have you done any acting before? Right.
That was great. I love playing with you.
Mandy? Amanda?
Yes?
Mandy? Nothing.
What? You had something on your mind, clearly.
I was just trying out a new nickname. I wanted to see if you'd respond.
Okay, yes, I'll respond, but you were looking at me, so I knew you were talking to me.
Is that how that works?
What game are we playing?
It's a horror game. Social interaction, the real horror.
The rest of the drive up through the woods is some combination of sullen silence and just general digs at whoever's close by. The trees around you are dense forest and the undergrowth is thick. Anyone that went hiking through here would easily become lost, but in the first part of it, you do see signposted hiking trails and things, and a lot of them are newly placed where they're trying to sort of build up the tourism industry here and give people something to do when they travel to Muscovy. As you find the turnoff, though, to the rat catcher's hut, it immediately begins to get a bit more wobbly. It's marked by an old, like, white-painted mailbox, which has clearly been busted into at some point and has begun to fall over. And even though the hinge has fallen back and you can see inside, this bloke's been in the hospital for weeks, a month or so maybe, and there's no letters being gathered. Either they're being taken or they're just not being delivered here. You drive past it and begin to ascend the valley. The sun's beginning to dip down behind the rear hills, and it casts shadows across the two vehicles as they churn up through dust and higher into the woods. Eventually, you come to a clearing where the woods have been chopped back and away, and you can see a small run-down cottage has been built. It's single-story with a sort of thatched roof and white walls around the exterior. You can see there's an overgrown garden all around it, and towards the rear there would once have been vegetable patches, but they've become wild, overgrown. There's a outhouse standing isolated in one section and a shed nearby it, which is large enough to house a workshop. The thing that immediately catches your attention, though, as the two of your vehicles are trying to find a place to park, is that strung between the trees, all on the perimeter of the cottage area, are nets with dead rats hanging from them. They've been tied in knots with their tails so that they hang from the netting, and each one has been killed in a variety of manners. You can see some that were caught in small traps. You can see some that were poisoned. You can see some that look as though they have been caught deftly and had their necks broken. These line the entirety of the outside, and as your cars park, the van closer to the cottage so you can get the supplies inside, and the RV just along the tree line so that you can make enough space, it's almost as if the forest looms directly up and around you.
Have we been contracted to do the outside as well? Surely not. Surely that's not our problem, correct?
It'll be in the contract that was signed. What's that say?
Did you charge extra for that? Because
No.
that's a lot of rats.
Well, not for the rats. They didn't mention the rats. Now,
No,
did
but
they?
did you charge extra for the fence, for the extra outdoor?
It would have been the standard square footage rate as we agreed upon. I'll show you the spreadsheet again.
We didn't agree upon it. I said you should add an extra 10% given the distance we have to travel to get there, given the size of the property, the remoteness, the amount we have to get, different supplies. You did add the 10%, didn't you?
I
The
know
levy?
how to run a business, don't I?
But did you add the levy?
I added
I don't think you added the levy.
enough.
I don't think you did.
Which of the two of you does typically handle the finances? Which of the two of you does typically handle
It's
the
me.
finances? It's
I do.
you? They overpaid you for this job.
Oh.
They offered you opening almost double what you'd normally make, and as soon as you began to sort of like talk rates, I don't know if you just openly immediately accepted it, they were pretty eager to give it to you. They seemed motivated to have you get out there as quickly as possible, bring your best equipment, and might have assumed you'd have some doubts once you saw the property.
I suppose I'd probably handle the after-the-fact finances, the accounting and the balancing of the books, and you'd probably insist on doing all the negotiation.
Add
I'd imagine you'd let anyone else handle that.
levy.
Add levy.
It's in the notebook now, all right?
Right,
It's in the notebook.
Are we actually getting paid properly for this?
Aye. I reckon they're paying us quite well, quite reasonable. They seem quite keen to have us here, and we're going to do a good job and make sure that they're pleased with our service.
Keeper, she is flabbergasted. And, like, they pull in and these rats are actually suspended on cords because she heard George say it twice, but like that didn't cement because that's some weird shit. Why would anyone do this? So as she's getting out of the vehicle, she's just gonna have to move within, I don't know, 15, 20 feet of like one of these suspensions. Like, are these rats been dead? Like, are we in multiple levels of like decomp? Are these fresh rats?
That's a
Like,
good
just
point.
looking at like this weird tapestry of like weird decapitated rodents is really bothering her, but she's curious.
Yeah, 100%. The RV pulls up and it's got those like unlocked doors that slide across and you descend the steps and walk across. It's about 6 feet from you to the tree line, so you'll have enough space to come and go from here and unload equipment. And as you approach the rats, you can just see them sort of shadowed against the walls. You probably pull out your phone or something and hold it up so that the light gets against it. And you can see that all of these rats are at least several weeks old and getting beyond that. Many of them are beginning to rot away and sort of limbs have dropped down towards the ground and there's a stench that comes off them that is nasty and sort of acrid mold. Do you have any natural world skill or something that might apply here? Survival, perchance? Chance.
Well, we can pray about it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we can try this natural world that she doesn't have any ranks in, but you never know.
Yeah, this is a
Can
shot.
we go for it? All right. We're going to roll against my base of 10
Yep.
with a 30. It's not
Okay.
going to make it, unfortunately.
I will say we could spend luck on this. What we'll do is we'll do double luck expenditure. So each point is 2. So just given it's a one shot, so you'll burn through it quickly. So you could close that for a clean 40 points or
For a
something.
clean 40 points, you know what? She's not quite that curious.
Yeah.
For right now, we're okay with just...
I'd like to roll some dice.
You'd like to roll some dice?
I think I could have a go at estimating the approximate rate of decay to figure out the amount of time that this chap's been collecting rats on his fence.
Okay, sure.
With my biology skill.
Oh yeah, biology, 100%. Yeah, that's great.
This man has a science degree.
Yeah, go ahead and make a biology roll for us.
Ooh, yes, actually.
10. That's
Wasn't for his
bang
looks.
on. An extreme success.
It's an extreme success. Well done.
That is why I married him.
Bravo.
It's just the dice.
I imagine it's probably less a study then, because you're kind of just unloading equipment as you look across and can immediately assess these rats. So they are in varying stages of decomposition. The most recent dead are about a month old. None are newer than that. However, from there, they fade backwards through years and beyond. Some of them are just bones strapped to the higher points. You actually initially thought it was just pieces of netting or something hanging in the breeze, but no, that's bones from rats that were killed years ago, possibly even longer, and you can actually see in the ground around it, there are little piles of mulch and compost where rats have eventually just fallen from the netting, gathered on the ground, and faded away. Now, it's also interesting because clearly no scavengers or predators have eaten those dead rats. They've just eventually fallen and faded away.
Right, we're going to need a good packet of biohazard bags, and I'm going to need some white gloves. Let's get the paint stripper, the tin off the paint stripper.
Can we not leave these until tomorrow?
No,
they're not getting any deader.
I'm making an initial assessment on what we'll need. I'm just speaking aloud as if I had an assistant, but I don't.
Given that they're starting, I'll dart over and I want to quickly say to Ali, I know it's creepy, okay, but all smiles. If they get too scared too quick, they're going to bolt, and we need slow build, take our time with it.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right, come on.
Oh, I have been distractedly with the skulls going, hello, I'm Amanda. I think you're
Tommy, come on. This is... One, I don't talk like that. Two, this is the critical moment, okay? We need them. Tommy, we need them starting, okay? Lens cap off. Come on, this is the critical moment.
Cool. Did you want me to turn the camera and dash off now, or do you want me to keep that running? It's gonna drain the battery, is the only thing.
Okay, I am trusting you to get the footage that we need. We definitely need them doing this. It's initial assessment. It's important. So come on.
All right. Yeah. Okay. You didn't tell me to turn the dash cam off. That battery's gonna die.
Okay. As you begin your initial assessment of so far just the exterior of the property, what's everyone doing? So you're going to begin to actually take rats down, or are you just getting a sense of the numbers?
Just an initial inventory of the situation on the outside, and then we'll move inside and see what we're dealing with.
So you just do a walk of the
Aye.
perimeter? Okay.
I'm going to start unloading standard cleaning supplies from the van, putting them up on the porch in front of the door. Standard cleaning supplies, and then I'll get a whiff of the place, I assume, and grab some extra strength ones as well.
Perfect.
And I'm continually looking back to make sure that Tommy is filming me.
Yeah, could you just the first couple, can you do that just one more time?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. That's the one with the hole. It's on the ground already. It's already on the ground.
Oh, bugger. Hang on.
I'll take it. Here,
They
just
both
pass
have
it to-
holes, Tommy.
All right, when you're ready, love.
You reload it all back in, and do it again.
Sure. Yep, happily, with a big old smile.
Okay. So it's the two of you focusing on the unloading and moving things from the van and up to the cottage entrance. Perimeter, what are the two of you?
I'll open the front door unless no one stops me.
Well, you're doing the walk around the outside first, right?
Oh, aye.
I'm going to be following along, sticking close to Tommy, just trying to get a sense of this place. I'm actually a little unsettled. Not that I want it to show, so sticking by the crew, playing by the rules for now, that seems sensible.
Okay.
Do I notice? Because I have a psychology of 65.
Ooh. Yeah. You keeping an eye on your crew as well? Okay.
Oh, I mean, okay, I'm stupid. But I'm sly. And I don't want to lose another job. So, if there's anything that, just some casual maybe blackmail.
Can't hurt.
Or maybe just knowing that, if I go up behind Amanda at some point and go, boo, she might, crap herself and I can catch that on camera. It'd be funny.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and give me a psychology roll? And this is getting a sense of your crew as well as the cleaning crew, just getting a read on the situation.
Oh, sick.
I guess prioritizing blackmail.
Ooh. That is not quite a hard success. It's a 39 over 65.
Not
Nice
bad.
roll
though.
still.
Well done.
Yeah. I'm good at 3 things. Filming, shockingly, psychology, and the third will keep as a surprise.
Well, I guess why don't each of you give me a read on where you're currently at? We've kind of gotten a sense for yours, and this will be what Tommy picks up as well. Ellie, how are you reacting to things? I mean, you were up there studying the rats as well when Paul pointed out the state of decay and how long they've been hanging there.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where just for that brief moment, she separates from her job expectations and she's like, why the hell would somebody do this? Like, this literally makes no sense. Like, is this discouraging other rats? Are they gonna run up and go, oh wow, turn around and go back? Like, this makes no sense whatsoever. So as they are continuing forward and doing like their reconnaissance, she's probably forgotten to mic them up. And she's probably like going from just tree to tree going like this. What was he trying to do here? So she's not as much horrified as she's like super curious and distracted.
Okay, all right, awesome, noted. Paul, Shirley,
Aye.
It's
not
all
too
business
fast.
to him.
What's your current psychological state?
Oh, yeah. Fine.
Another
My uncle
Tuesday.
collected his own toenail clippings for 3 decades.
I
People
know.
do weird
You
things.
showed me.
You didn't throw them out, did you?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm
Good.
sure they're around there somewhere.
What sentimental value they do. Point is, people have weird hobbies, and we're not ones to judge.
Very reasonable.
I'm judging. I was just a little bit nervous that Tommy's perhaps not paying as much attention as he could be. Ellie's definitely not paying as much attention as she could be, and Amanda won't make eye contact with me.
All right.
We're the
and
stars of this show.
That's your read. Okay.
Wait, do I get a read on Amanda?
Yeah, sometimes you plan something, you get really excited about it, you go forward with it, and then it ends up being a little bit more nerve-wracking than you expect. I'm here, but I'm a little tense.
Perfect. Okay, so the three of you are staying near the house, unloading gear and bringing up towards the cottage, while you take a route around the perimeter, and Ellie sort of looks at the netting and out into the woods beyond. Walking around the outside, you'll see that these nets completely encompass the outside. The shed itself has no windows. It's all blockaded up, and the door set into it appears to be locked when you give it a quick try. You don't have the key that you were given, but it seems to be a different one to the main entrance, so it must be stored somewhere else. The outhouse seems to be in use, or it was in use when...
Occupied. It's in use.
No, sorry. It is functional, is the word I should say. There's a roll of toilet paper hanging outside that's gotten wet with rain, but it seems to be what is still used by the old boy when he's here.
Is there an almanac?
An almanac
Yeah.
on the inside.
Yeah.
Do you want to go inside?
By almanac, you mean?
I mean, lots of soft, thin pages, almanac. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's unlocked, I'll nudge it open, just take a quick look.
You nudge it open. It's fairly filthy, so that's going to be a big job. But beyond that, no sign of an almanac. Seems you can spring for the toilet paper, which is nice, yeah. And there's a bit of a storage of it. Hole in the ground, basically, glorified. Not real flash.
No one inside there.
No. Occupied. You continue your way back round the outside and go to get the others. Ellie, as you're looking out through the rats and beyond, the trees sort of rustle a little bit in the breeze, and the sun is setting behind them, casting shadows through them and across your face. As you mentioned, you're kind of drawn to this. It's curious. Clearly it's not scaring away rats because there's tons of the things. If anything, I mean, the amount of them here and the absence of them down in Muscovy, it's possible that it's more drawing them to this location. You also cannot shake the feeling that there's something more out here. The darkness underneath the trees is thick and almost velvety against the plush grass, and there's a sort of creeping feeling slowly moving up the back of your spine. Can you please make a spot hidden roll for me?
You know, after that description, I really don't want to see whatever the hell it is.
Plug your ears and
But
go
sure,
home.
babe. Well, listen, I'm here for you. Let's do it. Her spot hidden is a 65, and she hit a 90.
Okay, all right. You sort of look out into the darkness for a moment, peering beyond it and trying to make out shapes between the moving trees. They shift back and forth in points, and sometimes it looks as though it could be a silhouette of a person out there, or maybe an animal moving on all fours in the distance, but it's never stable long enough for you to get a real picture of it. It does kind of draw you in, though, further and further, and as you're making unconscious steps towards the netting, for a moment you're sort of inclined to reach out and rest a hand against it so you can hold yourself steady, and as you go to do so, you realize you'll be gripping one of the bloated corpses of these rats hanging from it before you shake yourself and move back and away. Can you give me a sanity roll, please?
I feel like Bridgett needs one after that. That was a great description. Sanity is going to be a 50, and she hit a 79.
Okay. That's going to be our first point of sanity loss. Oh. It is reduced by 1.
Just a tickle,
Just a tickle.
as we
Just a
call it.
tickle.
1 point of sanity, just a tickle.
Okay. You sort of start and step back away with a small gasp, and
Ellie?
Oh my God, I almost put my hand in it. What the hell is going on?
They're not mic'd up.
Oh, what, the rats? Why would I mic up the rats?
I don't know, maybe they've got something interesting to say.
What, I've been dead for a month? Oh my God, I almost put my hand in it. Oh my God, the Martins. Mom!
speed miking, yeah.
I would like to get some B-roll footage of a recently squeezed, bloated rat.
You're gonna squeeze the rat, aren't you?
Huh?
You're gonna squeeze the rat, aren't you? Yeah. I was gonna squeeze the rat.
Mainly, I poke it and I'm like, squishy. I'd like to get some B-roll footage, and then kind of just of the general area, I want to get some B-roll of the inordinate number of tiny rat corpses / bones in the ground, just some nice kind of B-roll of the setting sun over this clearly haunted fucking forest.
I'm getting the impression that Tommy only gets B-roll. That's all he's here for.
Is that the origin of the name of the company?
Phobie.
Because the bees roll.
Hey,
Perfect. So we're going to work on some B-roll of whatever spooky nonsense you can find in the area.
I mean, I do have a, shall we call it, professional curiosity on spooky stuff. Look, as Amanda sort of hinted, this is not our first rodeo into the haunted, and look, sometimes you gotta get the right f-stop and the right frame rate and the right resolution. If you get it all just right, and if you're real sneaky and you like a bit of lighting through the I forget what that bit's called. But anyway, you get some really interesting double exposures, which, in the right circumstances, everything's a bit shaky, looks a little bit like a ghost. So, look, I'm not saying I faked a bunch of paranormal shit, but maybe. Because I'm good at film. So yeah, I'd like to get some general spooky B-roll, and also just see if I can get any kind of, the sunlight glinting off the camera lens, just to see if I can get something a little bit spooky happening in the woods, just to give us some interesting B-roll.
Yeah, I dig it. Why don't you go ahead and give us a filming roll, and this is you beginning to see if you can put together a story that just whispers paranormal.
Personally, I think you should squeeze the rat.
That would probably help.
Because this is the great thing about Cthulhu, is you got all these empty spaces to write your skills. So if you just want to say, B-roll filming, give yourself 80 points in that.
Rat squeezing. Yeah.
Rat
Beat me to it.
squeezing.
Rat squeezing.
Well, it's not a fumble, because my skill's over 50, but it is a 97.
Oh, man.
Doing good, doing fine.
Okay. You kind of just get lost in it. You are a really quite talented filmer, I think that's the word for it, once you actually get into it. So you sort of focus on it, and you're collecting a lot of footage, you've got backlogs, and this just kind of locks you in for the moment until you're drawn back towards the others. Now, you've unloaded all of the equipment, you've had to do it a couple of times, yep, and you're smiling the whole way.
It's good, it's great, it's fine.
And occasionally Tommy's not looking at you, so you have to sort of make your eyes on and then continue. And now all of the containers are stacked up on the small porch leading in towards the house. The door frame has sort of settled a little bit, so it'll need to be punted open, but you have the key that'll bypass the lock. As you go to insert it, you can hear there's of a small rat which has begun to squeeze itself between some of the containers you've brought with you and is just sort of moving along the door frame and heading across towards the gate.
Fish into my pocket and pull out a box of rat poison. It's what we're here to do. We're well equipped. I'm here to be on TV, but we do actually do this professionally. Just scatter some rat poison around the door. It's fine.
Perfect.
It's fine. We'll get them all.
Proceed in.
Straight in.
You slide
not?
the key into the door,
It's just a
open
hoarding
it,
situation.
and push it open. The inside is dark. All of the windows are blocked by sort of gauze curtains, enough that a little light filters through, but it's mottled and grey, sapped of any life. There's silhouettes of furniture scattered around what looks to be a living room, and you can see an open door towards the back that leads into a kitchen. Immediately you're hit with a stench of long abandoned food that's begun to just permeate the area,
Like a
and
month,
you
hasn't
can
it?
hear it instantly, the sort of scraping of tiny feet moving around the outside, crawling up along the wallpaper and devouring the curtains. This place very much has an infestation problem, and towards the rear it's going to be stacked with dishes and things. There's another door that leads through towards a bedroom, but it is currently closed and sealed shut. There is a light switch that does function.
Flick on the lights, start opening all the curtains. At least this guy's in the hospital and he didn't die here a month ago, because we've seen that, and let me tell you, worse than rats. So much worse. Flick on the lights, open things up, start pulling any, if there's furniture that's been covered, pulling things off, just clearing the space as much as possible so that we can get into it. We are going to have to move all of this stuff out, otherwise we're not going to be able to clean anything around it, so...
Surely, it is pretty late in the day today, so why don't you get sort of one area clean where we might do a little bit of filming, maybe interview the two of you, get your initial reactions, talk about your impression of the place, and then we can head out, rest for the evening, and start properly with the filming tomorrow morning.
Sure, I really... don't think Paul's going to go for that. We don't normally do it a room at a time. We normally do it an activity at a time. So there's really, it really doesn't work, you know. Of course, we'll get the living room done first. The light in here is okay. The bulbs are fine. The kitchen, not as much light. We'll wait till morning.
Wherever you think is great. We just need
We'll
one
start in
spot
here.
to
We'll
do
just
a
start
bit of
in
an
here.
interview, and then we can go from there.
We'll just start in here. I'm just going to close the other doors.
Okay.
Paul likes to do the whole place, not room by.
Just pretend this is the whole place. So you close all the
Yeah,
doors.
so, you
that
know,
works.
pretend the whole place and close all the doors.
Okay.
I'm sure that'll work.
Paul, you complete your circuit and rejoin the others, and Ellie and Tommy, you can join inside the cottage as well. With the lights turned on, the rats have scattered towards the edges, and you can immediately see them worming their way into holes chewed in the plasterboard and up towards the walls. Each of the walls have sort of old faded wallpaper on them that's beginning to curl away. It looks as though at one point it was quite lovingly applied. It's even, straight, and it displays sort of a floral pattern that has long since faded to sort of a musty grey. There are framed portraits all along the walls which seem to show a family through generations of life, and in a lot of them you can see a man and a woman dressed in sort of dated garb holding a young baby, except the couple continues to age and the babies seem to be the same. They either have a lot of children or I guess the kid's not growing up.
Wow, they have a lot of children.
I've seen worse. Right, we're going to get 3 quarts of glycol ethers mixed up before we load up the spray guns with chlorine. Now, I think I saw some rats scattered about, so we're going to spread some rat poison near
Already
the front
done.
door. And then we're going to keep going. We won't going to do one room at a time.
Yes, no, we're doing
this,
one
this
room. No, we
calls for
are.
this
Paul,
calls
Paul,
for the
Paul,
entire
no.
place
Paul,
to be upended.
For the
Now,
TV
we've
show,
already lost the
for the
light.
TV show, we're going to do one room at a time.
What?
For the TV show, we're going to do one room at a time.
Bleeding heck.
Just this once.
That's what you need for the TV, is it?
Yes, that's what we need
Average
for the TV.
TV
It's what we
viewer
need for
can't
the
focus on
TV.
more one task at a time, so we've got to.
No, it's not about the
room.
viewer, it's about the light and
course, it's about
getting as much as possible in the shortest amount. Just this once,
sure,
just this once, just please, just this
I'm
once.
sure the lad in the hat knows what he's doing there. That must be the right way to do it. Yes, fine. Which
Thank
room
you.
would you like to start with?
We may as well start with this one.
An excellent choice.
I'm starting to think this might be like a relationship documentary.
Oh, hey, a lens cap.
Sorry.
This is the best Call of Cthulhu investigator, like Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs. we can escape the monsters just for the lens caps.
Mandy, while they're having their 12th argument of the hour, I'm going to go get the devices and put them in the various rooms. And the devices are going to be those recording devices that also have a microphone on them. So when the lights go off, they can start doing the things to spook people out. And especially with the scritchy, scratchy sounds of the rats, that's great audio capture. So I'm going to go get the box and get those installed.
Good idea. Just make sure you hide them real deep in hidden parts of the room. So, you want it to come from somewhere scary. So go up there, find the scariest room in the place, head right into it, then put that in the deepest, darkest corner, okay?
You want one of the devices in the outhouse?
No, it's
look,
occupied.
Boards and the censor board will have a field day with that. Let's maybe an attic or something. Outhouse doesn't make for good television.
I really hate my job. She's going to go to the truck and she's going to get that device or that box, and then she's just going to get those installed in every room of the house.
Okay, all right. And are you making sure that the cleaners don't see you do this? Or are you passing this off as some other activity?
No, what she's going to do is we're going to plant these in plain sight.
Yeah,
She's an audio engineer. This has everything to do with secondary audio capture, right, sound engineers? That's a thing, right? Yeah, they're giving me a thumbs up. They didn't give me a thumbs up. So yeah, no. Yeah, so no, this is a in plain sight thing. This is not the first time they've done this bullshit. This is probably going to be her last time doing it because she really hates this crew. But no, it's going to be audio capture in all of the rooms, secondary audio capture.
Okay. And you also mentioned, are these speakers? Do some of these produce?
Yeah, so you have the audio capture, but it also has a speaker, so we can project sound into these various rooms if we need to.
Hell yeah.
It also has lasers.
Because that was in the budget last year. Yeah.
Why does a mic need a laser? What does that do?
Are you the photographer
No.
of this ear film?
We bought the laser ones because we're pretty sure that Tommy wanted to look at them while he was lying in the truck.
I'm gonna stare directly.
Actually, they do a lot of tricks with mirrors and lasers. That's how you get spooky shit happening. But you know, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Okay. You begin to unload some of the mics and place them around the area, canvassing and looking for hidden positions where you can obscure some for sort of speakers to project sounds as needed.
Yep.
So you're going to be working on that first. What's everyone else pulling at? Just for context, the sun was beginning to set when you pulled up. By the time you finish the perimeter, it's in sort of like, amber stage. Lights are all on inside, so you can continue to work, but the exterior is going to continue to darken as night reigns in.
Well, the lights got away from us. Just like I said it would.
They brought their own
okay.
lights. They brought some of their
That's-
own. See, they've got like filming and there's
No,
there's
it's no
plenty of
good.
light in that living
No
room.
good.
The bulbs are still good in
We
there.
can
You're
get
gonna
some
have
of the
to-
equipment ready and move some of the furniture around, but I reckon we should give the rat poison some time to work so we can work undisturbed, bright and early, crack of dawn, 6 a.m.
That sounds good. We'll make sure you're up bright and early, but the key is we just need a couple of impressions shots. You talking about your
Impression shots.
thoughts about the house and,
Your thoughts about the house, Paul?
Oh, I've got some thoughts I can share.
oh, yes, please. I think we can get a lot of footage from you, I think. So let's just get one room clean enough for us to shoot in, and we'll go from there. We can get some interview, and then once the light's properly gone, rest, get ready for tomorrow.
Sorry, just to butt in real quick. Wouldn't it be better to get them in a cluttered room so we got some before and after shots?
Yes, that. Much better.
Oh, but
Okay.
we've already started on the
It's fine, it's
the
fine.
kitchen. We'll go to the kitchen. We've already started on the living room. We'll go to the kitchen. It smells terrible.
Just give me one. All right, we're going to the kitchen. Give me 1 sec, because look, this is great, but we are losing the light, and I'm probably going to need a steady cam because the frame rate's going to be all over the place. So give me just a hot sec, and I'll put the camera down. Go. Hang on a sec. Frame cap. The lens.
Oh, the lens cam.
Thank you. Put that on. Put it down, and then I will meander out to the truck, humming to myself. I don't know why. Yeah, humming to myself, and I will go and get a tripod specifically to set up for low light exposure.
Sure. So you guys can set up to get some footage of cleaning that's taking place. You can run some interviews as well. You can hide some equipment throughout the area. Am I to understand that I guess the three of Paul, I guess Tommy and Manda are working on interviews, or I guess and Shirley, while also sort of
I'm
cleaning
in
the
every
area?
shot.
And the only person who's really moving about the house a lot and searching the area would be Ellie.
How quickly do you bail out of interviews?
Oh, I'll bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
So you do a
Keep
quick
on moving.
interview and then kind of just focus on the cleaning work.
Just moving the furniture, being able to move around, and waiting for some rats to die. You get stuck into it, like you need the lights.
Yeah, good call. Okay, fantastic. So as the three of you work on interviews, Ellie, can I get you to make a spot hidden roll as you begin to move about the house and find places you can obfuscate equipment?
Yes, sir. If I may, Mandy, before you start the interviews, can you wait until I get back, and then I can do the whole, kids screaming in the attic
Yeah,
or
that's the
whatever?
plan.
Yeah, okay,
Yep,
thanks.
yeah, you got this.
All right, you wanted a spot hidden?
Spot hidden, please.
All right, under a 65, she rolled an 80. The dice hate me.
Not happening today. Okay.
I know, the struggle is real.
You begin to sort of move through the living room, putting a mic under, a chair and leaving one in plain sight on one of the tables. You move into the bedroom, which you find to be fairly mundane. There's a two-person bed and a set of drawers towards the side that would hold clothing. As you open it and sort of hide a speaker underneath some of the bundles of clothing, you will see that this did once support a man and a woman, as well as what looks like a number of young children, but only some of the clothing is remotely regularly used, and what of it exists is well worn, faded, and almost falling apart. You will see that there is a family Bible on the edge of the bed. It's a thick black book bound in leather and worn with time. The pages are yellowed, and as you sort of curiously stick a finger on it and just thumb it open, you'll see that on the first couple pages it's scrawled a sort of family tree that shows the Oswald's lineage here in Muscovy for years, centuries even. Are you taken by the book? Do you look at this any further, or is this something that you just put back and continue on your...
Well, apparently because I'm pantomiming it here, yeah, apparently I'm really into this book. So I'm gonna go, yeah, no, she's into the book. And if she can, just she's thinking back to the weird photos downstairs where it's like the reoccurring kid. It's like, did they have a kid every... So yeah, she's in with the Bible.
Yeah, can you give me an intelligence roll, unless you have a specific skill that would apply to, I guess, genealogy?
Oh, I almost want
Library?
somebody else to roll. I almost want the audience to roll because my dice hate me. Rolling under an 85, this is a 19.
Nice,
There we go.
well done.
I'm gonna double spend on the luck
Yeah, hell yeah.
to go ahead and bring that down to an
An
extreme.
extreme.
There we go.
Okay.
Thank you for the support, guys. My dice are, we're talking again. Thank you, thank
We
you,
need a
thank
couple
you.
of good rolls.
You begin to thumb through the lineage. You're sort of tracing a finger along it, trying to find the connecting points. You can see that there are, there's...
She's good at her job, is all I'm going to say.
You can see that there are generations of family here, and as you get closer to the current point, you can see that at every period there's a wife and husband, and it branches out into at least 6 or more children that they'll have over the years, except almost all of them perish while they're young. None make it beyond about 8 years old or so, and by the time you get down to Gertine, who is Gilbert Oswald, you will see that he never married, never produced any children, and is basically the end of this lineage.
Wow, that's actually satisfyingly creepy. Okay. She is going to just close that Bible back. If she was able to piece together that information, that could be really good footage to have the Martins piece together. So she's going to just attempt to play up rooms now as she goes forward. So like the next room that may have family photos, she might like, I don't know, drag out the eyes of the kids or turn the pictures around or basically like setting up the theatrics to, you know, that creeped her out. Let's see if we can really play that into the Martins.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay, all right, you kind of set the stage here. There are a couple of photos of family members, and just by running your nail along the eyes, you can scratch those out a little bit and turn them so that they're all facing the door for the next person who's going to come through and see them immediately.
Oh, yeah.
You have a couple of mics positioned so that even if the cameras aren't rolling, even if they're not mic'd up, there's still things that'll capture them, and you'll be able to use that footage going forward.
Oh, that's perfect.
We'll basically say that the bedroom is baited for the Martins to go inside, and as you head back out, and Tommy's just set up the camera, everyone's ready to sort of begin filming, you can pass that information along to Amanda, and you could move this interview elsewhere if you want to set the trap.
What's the hoarding situation here, by the way? We were told this is quite an extreme hoarding situation.
As far as hoarding, it's actually not too bad. There's the ton of rats on the outside.
That's a kind of hoarding.
It's the rats.
But on the interior, it seems fairly functional.
Like a normal house.
It's old, and it's clearly been well used. Any of the furniture's been done to sort of break in to the point that it's falling through the floorboards. Clothes are functional and things, but there's not much stuff actually collected.
Yeah, we were specifically told hoarding. Amanda?
Yeah.
Well, we took on this job as a quite a severe hoarding situation for the purposes of television.
Yes, don't worry.
This is a very normal house.
We'll
Completely
cover all of
normal.
that in the
There's
in the
not
interview.
really any hoarding here. It's not going to be very interesting to watch us clean this. We're not going to find any weird stuff in piles here.
What a shame. Won't be interesting to watch people clean.
Have you finished putting rat poison upstairs?
Now, where have I heard that
The back
before?
room. Have you put
Listen,
rat poison in the back rooms as well?
Oh?
Good, you've done it all.
May I make a suggestion? If you're concerned about the layout of the house, the amount of debris. Look, there's this thing, right, called filmmaking. And what we do is we move a bunch of stuff from a different room into the room
Tommy,
you're
I was
currently
an
working
actor for
on.
about 12 years before this one started his business.
And as much as I appreciate the art of filmmaking, we are here to make the art of cleaning. which is moving the mess away from where it is.
On the topic of cleaning, we don't really have that much to clean, and I suppose it's less about the good television. And why are we here?
I mean, I did see an awful lot of rats up in the bedroom.
Up in the bedroom. Like in stacks, piles?
Yeah, this could be a good moment. Why don't we head towards the bedroom now? And what were you saying? You don't think this place is very dirty at all?
I mean, we've seen hoards, right? We've seen hoarding situations. There's a lot of things. You can find a lot of things. It's very interesting. And that's really what we were brought on to do.
I'll
far
start
as I
ushering
can
you
tell.
up the stairs as we get this footage of you talking.
I mean, Mr. Gertine was ordering his rats outside like a nice, courteous homeowner.
Yeah, but I don't.
Right.
He had the sense to keep these animals
Are
outside.
those rats the
don't know,
weirdest
maybe
thing you've ever seen in your time cleaning?
No. Nope.
No, I've seen worse.
Well,
So
can you
much
think of
worse.
why someone would want to do that?
Weird.
It's not my job.
Just weird.
Just weird.
You understand these things. You clean a lot of places. Is there any reason that you could kill so many rats and there are still more of them? More, always more.
Maybe he was baiting them in. They do really like peanut butter.
And they breed like rabbits.
Really, the phrase should be breed like rats.
What's the wildest explanation you could possibly think of?
Oh, I don't know, serial killer, the whole serial killer triad thing, like harming animals. Maybe he also wears the bed. It's, serial killer.
Or he had a rat problem.
Or he had a rat problem.
And then he solved the rat problem.
Well, he definitely hasn't solved it because I've seen about 8 rats.
Because
since
he's
I've
in
been
the
here.
hospital, isn't he?
There are a few rats in the bedroom just ahead.
We
Yes,
know we're
you
going
did
to the
say
bedroom.
that.
Let's check that out. Head
Many-
inside.
I can say for certain you have never seen anything like this.
So just before they open that door, she's gonna
remember that
slide
guy
her
with the
phone over to
thing?
Mandy to pick the sound bite. Like, is it child whispering? Is it little girl crying? Is it like whatever the sound bite it is that she wants to choose that they're gonna hear right before they open that door?
Go with your heart.
Go with the what?
Go with your heart. You pick.
She really
guy
hates
with
this
the
job.
Oh. You know that bird sound that sounds like a goblin either screaming or having sex? That one.
The sex goblin. What's it doing
How did
in the
we get
house?
here?
You don't keep your sex goblin in your house?
No.
So apparently we're doing weird goblin moans.
Okay.
It's some kind of
Well,
weird
we
bird.
just
It's
like
just
an hour
Tommy's head is like it
together.
sounds like a goblin to me.
All right. You get towards the door, and with the
Sex
footage
goblin.
rolling, and with Shirley sort of looking back into the camera to continue talking and mic'd up, Paul opens the door and swings it inwards. The interior shows a bed perfectly made, all in white sheets with sort of, strung up curtains. Towards the rear, the cupboard is open, and all of the uniformly laid out costumes or clothing are hanging in place. There's a number of photos all along the walls with eyes look as though they've been scratched out by something with nails, and they're all facing directly towards the wall or towards the door where you've come in. The only exception is 3 of them have been gathered around the bedside table and seem to be looking down towards a black book, which is the only clean thing in the room, completely untouched by dust.
Huh.
Are we going to have to make a sanity roll directly caused by another player?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Never had
Can we
that
get both
before.
of the Martins to make sanity rolls for us?
Sure.
You did all of this? Nice.
Goblin.
Yeah, nah, 75.
That's a fail.
That's a fail.
73.
Yeah, definitely. What's the goblin sound? What triggers at
goblin
this point?
Oh yes, when that door opens, that sound is like.
Both failed. Why don't you both go ahead and take a point, and what are your reactions?
I've seen.
Worse.
Let's take that again. Just walk.
Oh, you want a bigger reaction from...
Yes,
I
one more
mean-
inside and...
Sure. I'm getting a little suspicious. Let's be honest. There's no hoarding situation.
Doesn't seem to be.
That's not a cleaning thing. That's a weird thing.
How do you respond?
I've seen worse. Good.
Yes, okay. But as you would normally for this room now, please.
I've seen worse.
No, I mean, do what you...
Oh, right.
Amanda?
Yes?
This is definitely not a hoarding situation. This is barely a messy house.
There's a few more rooms to go through yet. We could
Okay, I'm
still
sure
uncover
there
the...
is.
All right, look, maybe it's best we leave things for tonight. Take it easy, and we'll start with the full clean, thorough clean tomorrow morning.
For the cleaning show, yes, the clean for the cleaning show.
In the light.
Yes. Anything else you want to do in here, in this room?
Go to bed.
Uh,
I'm not sleeping in the van again. You know how my neck gets. If I see a soft bed, Mr. Gertine won't mind it, I'll take it.
do you want me to get the sheets, at least?
Aye.
I mean, with the whole
The
rats on the
hypoallergenic,
fence thing,
the hypoallergenic sheets? Aye.
the serial killer triad.
You don't want me out in the rash again, do you?
Nope,
I don't want to be out in the rash again, do I?
that cream smells terrible.
Then you better get those sheets from the van.
I'll get the sheets from the van.
Okay, so the Martins are going to begin to prepare the creepy bedroom.
Yes,
It's been made more creepy by the rest of the cast.
If the book is on the bed,
It's on the bedside table,
I,
just there, sort of.
I'll pick it up as I go past and flip it open.
Okay, awesome. So, and as you begin to sort of thumb through it, you'll make the same connection that Ellie made, which is that this genealogy tree just continues to sort of fragment out into a number of children, all of which are
Kinda
culled, but one, which continues on. Always the last born is the one that survives and continues to sire children.
Huh. Where's the book? Put it on the,
Put it
not on the
back.
bedside table because I know Paul will want to put his medications there. I'll
And
put it
begin
in the
to-
dresser and
Okay. Prepare yourself for bed. So you're going to set up the bedroom to sleep in, and the three of you are going to head back towards the van. Tommy, you're just finishing up sort of getting some footage as Ellie and Amanda head outside, and you will approach the doorway. As you do, you'll see that the van is parked quite close to the tree line, close enough that you're not going to be able to load equipment inside it, but you loaded all the equipment out when you first arrived, and there's only about 3 feet between you and the tree line. The nets are all still hung, strung between the trees, and the bones are still sort of rattling in a wind that begins to whip through and between them. The sun is completely set at this point, and the moon that's risen is obscured mostly by clouds as you're navigating by phone lights.
Did you leave the handbrake off, Tommy, or I swear the car slid back a little bit.
I'm not there.
Tommy's just inside
sorry.
for the moment. Just about to
Did I leave the handbrake off? Where's Tommy? Okay.
I'm going outside as well to get sheets from the van, the hypoallergenic ones.
Can I get the two of you to please make sanity rolls?
Okay. For me, that is a 0-8, so an extreme
Okay,
success.
extreme success. You're going to be okay.
Nice roll.
Critically sane.
I'm scared. Whew, 25 under current 49, made it.
Okay. Each of you are able to look over this. You can see that there's a clear distance, but perhaps the handbrake was left open. Perhaps you just forgot when you moved out, or maybe squeezed your way through. But it's definitely uncomfortable to load things back in. And as you begin to pull equipment back into the RV, you have to kind of shimmy things along past the tree line. And occasionally, rats will brush against your elbow, and you have to heave it inside. Given that you're working under torchlight, your night vision is completely shot to shit. So the only thing you can ever really see is that small pool, the beam thrown by your flashlight. So you're kind of focused in on the only task that you're doing, and everywhere else you can't see anything, feeling sort of vulnerable and watched. That said, loading up the van goes seamlessly, as does setting up the bedroom, and eventually, after night has well and truly fallen, you can all begin to take your rest. Are there any nighttime rituals? What's the closing down situation look like at the BBBB Productions?
I'd like to say, all right, I think we're not getting the performance we need. Put down the camera for just a second on me. I want to say, I reckon we get in there tonight, let's give it an hour or two, and let's mess up things. Just a little bit, you know. Scratch up a wall or two, give them something to clean tomorrow morning. pump the
right.
spook a little, you know?
I mean, if you really want to give them something to clean, you could get all these rat corpses off the nets and throw them in a big pile in one of the rooms.
You have a devious mind.
What?
That's really clever.
That is. I hate to say it out loud, but that really is.
Okay, let's give it half an hour to make sure they're asleep.
Let's keep them up.
That's not a bad idea
If they're
either.
sleep deprived, maybe we can get a more authentic performance out of Miss Martin.
Okay, how about you stay here in the van, operate the sounds, make sure that they're not sleeping a wink. Give us enough cover. Tommy, you and I will sneak in, dump the rats all over the ground, make it real nasty, and we can go from there.
All right.
Okay. So the two of you are going to go and collect rats from the netting, gather them into bundles, and then move to where are you gathering them, on the entrance, or?
I think let's put them in the bottom floor. Let's put them on the ground.
Well, we were just in the living room, and that was relatively, like they started cleaning that place out. So I feel like a large pile of fetid rat corpses in the living room might be enough to get, a little bit of a scare.
Yeah, let's go with that.
And Ellie, are you going to be playing sound through it to just kind of keep them awake and on edge?
Yeah, so right there in the RV, just things that's gonna subtle noises that the house creaking or a boom, a door shutting, something enough where if they're going down, she can bring them back up until
hell yeah.
they're ready to actually crank it up.
Okay. Can I get stealth tests from Manda and Tommy, please?
Probably not.
My stealth is 20. That's a 37, so I will give you 17 times 2, 34 points of luck.
Okay.
Big spin!
Big fan.
Hey, big spender.
Tommy?
That will be a 78 over 40.
Okay.
Where's
So-
your Tommy?
I don't have enough luck.
Spending luck isn't the only option.
Oh.
Push
You
it.
could
Wait, hold on,
push
hold
the
on. I
roll.
think I
Push it
heard
real
a
good.
whisper from the wind. What was that? Well, the wind has told me that I must push a roll, so I suppose, for anyone who doesn't know what a push roll is, Dave, would you like to?
So when you push the roll in Call of Cthulhu, it has to be justified. You have to take some extreme action that is going to let you reattempt this, but always with more severe consequences if you fail. Now here's what I think. You've been navigating by torchlight so far, but if you're shining a torch, it's easier for people to see you. If you click off the phone, slide it into your pocket, and navigate through the darkness by touch alone, you should be able to move onto the lower floor quietly enough to place the rats without being detected by the Martins.
Sure, let's do it.
All right, go ahead and re-roll those dice.
Don't clap yet.
I hope for your sakes I fail. Ooh. That's a 35 over 40.
Well done. All right, that's a success. Both successes. Okay. With Ellie parked in the RV by herself, standing before a bank of monitors, slowly adjusting sort of camera frame rates or whatever so you can see shit in the dark and occasionally plugging out a sound or whatever, you've got a camera facing down towards the Martins in their bedroom. You can see them sort of beginning to toss and turn as they settle to sleep. Occasionally you sort of push a button for a creak and one of them sort of blinks and looks up and towards the window. Can I get both of you to make spot hidden rolls for me?
I don't think I'm very good at this. Oh no, I'm pretty good at this. I'm pretty good at this. That's an 18 under 65, so that is a hard success. Hard success.
Hard as well. 25 under 65.
Okay.
We spot all that is
see
hidden.
all.
Nicely handled. As each of you are lying in bed, tossing and turning, you kind of going over the situation so far. As you pointed out, this isn't a hoarding situation. Things are clearly a little weird. And also, Tommy was off shooting B-roll of dead rats for quite a while. You're not exactly not sure what the intent was there, but something's a little off. You both
So
roll.
come on, scratched out eyes.
You both roll over to have a quick conversation. Paul is facing Shirley and the wall behind her and all the scratched out frames behind. And Shirley, you're looking at Paul and the window behind him. As you're staring into his eyes and beginning to talk, you notice for just a moment that there's something standing in the window looking down towards you. The lights are off inside, so it's just a silhouette, surely just a tree branch shaking against the edge. Do you reach for the...
Paul, I have a feeling that you might have actually been right about. Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
It's one of the. I'll be right back.
Skulking around outside, are they?
They're
Middle of the
skulking
night?
around it.
That's how you trip and break a leg.
I'll be right back.
Do you turn on the light? Do you throw off the sheets?
I'm going to get out of bed without turning on the light.
Okay.
Because I am furious. This was my chance. They didn't have to lie to me. I would have.
Okay.
I'm gonna not turn on the lights, go over to the window, and try and scare pants off whoever's out there. And
Looking down towards you, okay. You're able to sort of throw the blankets off and keep yourself low so you can get towards the window before you get seen. When you get to the frame, you can stand up suddenly, and from the back, just that sort of ambient light from the room and the phone, the Paul's sort of, doesn't have your own phone, so probably yours, being placed on the ladpace, on the table, sorry. For a moment, you can see what is an old and wrinkled face with deep crevices all throughout it. There's wild white hair that splays out behind him, and the eyes are red and beady as if from sodden tears. You can actually see stains of sort of a rash that have begun to run down his cheeks, and as it looks towards you, you see his mouth break open into sort of a crooked smile with moldy, rusted teeth, and his tongue is swollen and gorged. As you see it, you shriek and step back for a moment, and in that small blink, by the time you look back, the figure is gone. Can you please make a sanity roll for me?
let's hope this is better. Oh, that was kind of cocked.
That's our keeper, everyone. He's very good.
That's a 93.
Okay, can you please take a d6 for
Yeah,
me?
big money.
Of course, 5 or more being the risk for indefinite insanity.
That's it.
Yep.
That's a 6? Okay.
That's a 6.
That's a big hit.
a
Can
big
you
6
please
insanity.
reduce your sanity by 6 and immediately make an intelligence roll for me to see if you can understand what just happened and deal with the consequences?
Here's to hoping. Intelligence. Ooh, I'm pretty high intelligence, so yeah. Actually, this is. I think Shell's going mad. That's a 38 under 70.
Okay, that's going to succeed. You know that there was someone
That's not a
out
mask.
there.
That's not a mask.
There was
Not a
someone
mask.
stalking around the outside, and that was not one of the others. You are immediately going to enter a bout of madness, and you are going to get. I'm going to pass it. I'm going to point it to you, Alex, because you're close enough.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where is it?
it's like a secret bout of madness.
Continuing the tradition. Going mad. Dying.
Running away.
8. Okay, as you let out a yell and Paul starts out of his bed, meanwhile, the two of you beginning to sneak inside. You've got the torches out and sort of armfuls of these mouldering rats. The stench is
Do I
filling
not
your
have a
nostrils.
torch at this point?
Sorry?
I don't have a torch at this point. I'm
Sorry,
going
just
by
your torch
sight
out. You're moving
unseen.
silently. You're sort of moving along, and you can begin to feel the sort of the blood of these things seeping into your hand as you creak along the floorboards. And just on the edge of your hearing, you can begin to hear one of Ellie's tracks beginning to play. It's a wet voice of someone speaking that seems to sort of deadly come from all angles inside the house. It sounds as though the mouth is filled with rotting wet leaves, and it begins to go, scratch, scratch, catch the rat, hang it by its tail, scratch, scratch, good old rats, his appetite curtailed. Can you both make sanity rolls?
Yeah, sure.
Join me.
Wow, David.
And can we get a round of applause for our keeper? Come on.
I don't know what the opposite of ASMR is.
But that's it.
It's actually ASM. That is a hard success for me.
I'm going to give you a point regardless.
There.
Eat that.
So my sanity is... I have actually lost my sanity on this sheet. Oh, God. My sanity is 60. I rolled a 69.
Nice.
Nice.
Join me.
That's going to be a D4, please, and thank you.
My sharp little boy. Ooh, that's a... Can't read it. Oh, that's a 4.
Big hit.
Nicely done. As the two of you begin to start and react, hearing the sound throughout it, Ellie, inside, you're beginning to sort of punch buttons and dial up the exact sounds that are flowing throughout it, and you can hear something scraping along the windows towards the back. There's a wind that's being buffeted through the trees and occasionally sort of rocks the RV back and forth a little bit. So you sort of step up and look away. The monitors are bright enough that they've ruined your night vision. You look out towards the woods behind it. You realize with a start that the trees that were originally 5 feet, ages away from the van, 3 feet when you brought all the kit back inside it, are now jammed up against the side of the RV, branches spread against the glass, scratching back and forth and pushing against the door so that it cannot easily be opened. I'm going to need a sanity roll from you, and I would like to know what you are doing inside the truck.
Do you want the action first or the roll first?
Let's do roll first, just in case there's a horrible... and this
moment
you
here?
can scale your...
That is a 68 over her current 49 sanity.
Okay, I'll give you a D4 as well, please, and thank you.
I got your back.
We're gonna die.
Ooh, that's a 4 hit.
Okay, all
That
right.
hurt
And
my
what?
feelings.
And actually, so we're going to go through. So everyone's now got a little something going. Let's get reactions from everyone immediately. What is instinct? What kicks in? Paul, I guess, is the only person who hasn't seen anything too fucked yet. What do you do?
Well, he's about to.
Hey. Oh yeah, that's. Oh yes, actually, sorry. Good point.
Because before-
Shirley might angle that.
Okay.
Shirley, why don't you go first?
Creep up to the window just to get one of these little upstarts with little shits trying to look into the window at us, which is a creepy thing to do to a middle-aged couple. And you know what? Fine. Look out the window, see this horrible visage. Oh, that's not a mask. Ah! I'm out.
You just bolt.
I piss ball. I'm out. I'm done.
Okay,
Goodbye.
fuck you.
I'm running out the front door into the night.
Okay, all right. You
Shrieking.
break through
I'm gone.
the bedroom door
Bye.
and out into the living room, charging as fast as you can. You will quickly
Love you,
run
Paul,
into
bye.
these two who are creeping along. Paul, what do you do?
Right, who's playing footy boogers with my wife? As I leap out of the bed,
Yep.
everyone's seeing that Paul sleeps in just his undies. Stride over the window and throw it open.
Okay, you head towards the window and chuck it up. Immediately, the cool breeze fills the room, and
And feels me undies.
you can hear the rustling of trees outside, pushed up against the RV. It's closer, visibly closer than it was. The whole thing has advanced 8 feet, and now you can see the rats swinging in the tree line. From here, there is no sign of anyone standing around, but you can continue to hear the screaming of your wife as she's descending, sprinting away through the house. No sign of anyone.
Right, well, I can catch him. It was just one story, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. I remember. Oh, I made a note. Cottage, one story.
It was one story, yeah.
So I got you, Dave.
Yeah, it was
I'm
one
going
story.
to jump out the window.
Okay, you sort of throw yourself over the side onto the ground, landing in your slippies, or I guess just your bare feet.
Just my bare feet and me undies.
All right, and begin to circle around the house, seeing if you can find someone.
All right.
Okay, all right, you begin to head round the side, and you'll go past the kitchen next. Let's find out what's happening inside. So, Shirley screams and comes sprinting through the pair of you.
I yell out in surprise as well, and I like to think that I drop the rats everywhere. They go tumbling all over me. Oh, fuck! Miss Martin, wait!
She's running towards the door where standing in between her and you are in the doorframe, clutching rats and kind of frozen for a moment in reaction. What do you do?
I'm pretty sure what Tommy does when he gets a bit of a fright is he tenses.
Oh, gross.
Squeeze the rat.
You're welcome. Yeah.
They crunch like stress balls brought to the extreme, and there's a pop as the craniums explode, and there's splattered blood all along the walls inside as Shirley collides into you, and you sort of stagger backwards. Inside the truck, Ellie, what is your reaction?
Thank you so much for that. Oh my God. With a 4 loss, I will say the one thing, that soundboard that she's using to project sounds, just out of sheer shock with the trees moving in, she probably hits every sound on that board.
So inside the house, it's
The
just
whole
a
house is
cacophony
going
of
nuts.
ghosts.
It's a Christmas tree of weird audio of kids screaming and ducks quacking and that weird sound that we had from the goblin goat noise, water dripping
And they give off
behind the walls.
lasers too, right?
Lasers, blue, red, yellow is shooting.
That's fucking hilarious. Are you leaving the RV or staying put?
Yeah, after she hits accidentally everything on that board, she is going to fall backwards. She's going to crab walk backwards, and being that door you said was pressed shut,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
going to have to do her best to try to climb out of I'm American, so it would be out of my left side. But we're
Yeah, I
in
get
the UK right
you.
now, so my right side of the window, there we go, look
100%.
at God.
All right, perfect.
And crawl out of the vehicle, yeah.
So you get towards it, you can sort of smash it open with an elbow. Can you give me a dexterity roll to squeeze your way through the shards of glass and out to the
Yeah.
freedom?
We're rolling under a 65 here, guys. That is a 41.
Okay, that's going to be all right. You sort of squeeze your way through it, and you can catch a bit of blood and stuff, and onto the other side. You see Tommy get impacted by Shirley standing in the doorway, and as inside there's suddenly a cacophony of random sounds and lasers swinging around. What they catch is a silhouette of a man standing right in the doorway to the kitchen. Paul, you've just come around the other side, and sort of you're looking along through it, trying to find where this bloke went, and you see one of the windows has been cracked and opened, and you can peer inside and see this same silhouette. The lasers are swinging up and around it, just casting sort of flashes of light. Of what you can see is a haggard-looking man in a straitjacket that has been torn open and now dangles limply along the ground. The bottoms are muddied with either dirt or blood, and clutched, sort of twisted inside one of the hands around the straitjacket cloth, is one of those sharp sort of butcher's knives that he's pulled from the kitchen block and is now standing in the center of the doorway. He takes a step forward towards the three of you and says,
"It's too late. He's coming now, and the rats aren't going to be enough. 2 of you, given willingly, will put this all to rest. But otherwise, I'll have every one of you."
and he takes another step forward towards each of you. Tommy, Ellie, stop it! Stop the light! Stop everything! Stop!
Am I still crazy?
You are still crazy.
Running.
But I'm gonna need sanity rolls from those that are not currently suffering about. You're gonna be closing the distance at this point, and you'll come through the door behind Tommy. So let's get it from all 4 of you, please.
Yes.
75, fail from me.
Okay, that's gonna be a D4.
81 failure.
That's gonna be a D4.
Ellie lost it too.
Okay, D4.
55 sanity, rolled 69.
Nice.
It's gonna be a D4.
Still a failure.
Oh, that's gonna be a D4.
Still a failure.
4 from me.
It's a nice failure, though.
Okay. No one's hitting 50 yet. We're
I
not close?
just hit it, babe.
You just hit it.
Yeah,
Jeremy.
just once.
Okay, we're gonna
Yeah.
get you to roll about then. Can you please roll a D10?
Join me in Crazy Town. Weather's fine.
Population 2.
That is a delicious 10 over here, babe.
Okay, 10.
That's the worst
am I?
one. Probably. I don't know.
All right, 10 is going to be. Oh, hell yeah. It's going to be a phobia. I'm going to give you a phobia of rats.
Of course you would.
The only thing you want is to get the fuck away from rats right now. You can see them. You're standing in front of. You come up behind Tommy. You see this man standing with the butcher's knife, and you look down, and Tommy's squeezing rats' guts. As you take a step away, you can see that the surrounding net is filled with these things, and they're getting closer as they rock in the wind.
Ooh, okay, so what is my current escape route that I can get? Oh, because the trees are closing in with the rats on the lines. He's popping rats. She's dropped rats. Where is a clear path that she can run to?
You could try and get back in the RV. You could get in the van and start it and try and drive away.
Okay, I'm gonna go evens. We jump back into the RV.
Okay.
Odds, we're gonna go deeper into the house.
Oh, hell yeah.
Odds, we're going deeper into the house.
Okay, you shoulder past Tommy and into the house, joining the others.
Ooh, shoulder past Tommy.
Which is a chance for you to sort of squeeze through and dart away. Paul, you see your wife rushing towards the woods. What's your reaction?
I'm more concerned about this man
Okay.
in my house well, not my house. All right. My house that we're gonna clean. In my
bolt.
place of work.
But the 4 of you are nearby, and the man repeats again.
"Last chance. 2 of you to die, or it'll be the rest. He's coming. He's coming."
Hang on. This is all part of the show. It's part of, yeah, it's all part of the plan. We just need, Mr. Martin, and Amanda. It's all well, you know, this is.
He cuts you off as you're trying to justify it, trying to explain it. Amanda, you're standing between it. He takes 2 steps forward and he says,
Your last chance is all falling apart.
and as he moves into the light, you can see that pushing out from underneath his eyeballs, where there was previously just red rash and wet stains, there is a vine or a new budding leaf beginning to push out that causes the eyeball to sort of swell beyond and move towards popping at the extreme. You can see through his ears there's thick sort of hair growing out from it, but it's beginning to tinge green like straggly dry grass. He steps forward and he is going to lunge at you with a knife.
Unless I am lucky enough to be near where I took my utility belt full of chemicals off.
Okay.
He's got
Make a
one
luck
bag and
roll.
He's not afraid to use it.
Is that the one thing you wear to bed?
Only on special occasions.
Go ahead and give me a luck roll.
Roll for fanny pack.
87.
You can see it inside, but you'd have to scramble through the kitchen and towards the door where it's hanging along. It is not within grabbing distance, but it's in there.
That would have been real lucky.
First, I'm gonna stab you though, so let's
Yeah,
do
cool.
that. That sounds sweet.
I would like to, as I'm being stabbed, yell, "You said willing, I'm not willing!" We'll see how we go.
Do you want to dodge or riposte?
Ooh, I'm gonna punch him in the face.
There we
Fuck
go.
yeah, that sounds sick as.
Good choice.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
You want to spend any luck?
No.
Okay. My turn. Okay, that's gonna be a success from my side. How we looking?
Success from my side.
On the dodge?
On the. mine's in
Okay.
riposte.
That's gonna fail then.
Yeah.
He's gonna win.
Yeah.
Okay, you go to sort of slug him across it and he slides underneath it and he's got this long thin knife. It just rakes across your interior and you immediately take, thanks to these dice, 8 damage as it slides across your chest, and that sort of floral shirt that Tommy wears begins to just stain with red ponds of blood. You stagger back. Is that a major wound?
You said an 8? We're squishy. I have 10 hit points.
Okay. Can you please make a constitution roll?
I may not have anything to do for the rest of the session, folks. If I roll badly on Constitution, that just puts me out. That is
Hard to read.
beautiful. I'm really glad that I swapped my Constitution and Intelligence before we started this. So I am 45 Intelligence now, and 60 Constitution. I just rolled a 48, so I am still awake
Okay, shit.
for now.
Still picking.
Tommy, you kind of stagger back against the door frame. Your chest has been slit open and begins to feel like, the inside's resting against your shirt, the only thing holding it together. The figure, this old man, reaches up against you and he says,
Willing, give yourself or I'll hunt down the others.
how is everyone responding? You're continuing to sprint the fuck away towards the woods where you can see the net swinging against it, and the driveway that you walked up or drove up has completely closed with trees blocking your exit path. Pulling yourself through to get to your cleaning supplies?
I'd like to punch the rat man in the face.
Yeah, sick. All right, you're going to close the distance.
If no
and
one
punch
else
that dude.
is going to. Does anyone mind if I just get started?
I'm going to whip out my phone, swap to my video camera, and start getting every gory bit
Goddamn.
of footage, because this is going to make me famous.
Okay. All right, so we're going recording. You're going to punch it. You're going to record. You're going to get the heck out. Tommy and Ellie.
Yeah, Ellie is running through the house, and it's one of those frantic runs where she's colliding into glass windows and spinning around and scrambling up the steps, and she's probably getting even more spooked out by the audio box running around. But in a bout of madness like this, I think she's just trying to get to the highest point that she can imagine that rats can't get to. So she's going to assume rats don't get to the roof.
Okay, so you're going to try and get up towards
That's
an
the
attic or a
best
high
that she
point.
has in panic right
Okay,
now.
can you give me, so what we're going to do is I'm going to get you're going to close the distance and punch this dude. So can you give me a fighting brawl roll and I'll riposte. Can you give me a climb roll to try and scramble your way out? Do you want to make a filmmaking check or is there anything else you want
I
to
have
angle for this?
filmmaking. I'll crit fail the moral integrity check.
And Tommy, what are you doing? As you're sort of holding his, this dude's holding your throat and closing the distance. You can smell, it doesn't smell like hot breath. It smells like mulch coming off him. And you can begin to see him changing further. Something's pushing against the cheek as if these tonsils have swollen, and it's actually beginning to like send leaves out the corner as it's getting worse. Also, you can feel the hand that's gripping you close is beginning to tighten, get stronger, and actually lift you up along the mantelpiece or door frame.
Yikes. So, I think I said before, Tommy's not very bright.
Mm-hmm.
This is a man who's got him in a chokehold.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy's been in a handful of bar fights, but I'm going to kick him in the nuts and try
Get
and
his ass.
drop me. He may not, in fact, have any. He may not feel this, but that's what goes through my head, so that's what we're doing.
Okay. So you're going to give me a fighting brawl as well?
Indeed.
All right.
Claudia?
I'll roll my riposte against you first.
How dare you?
I
Don't
love
be
these
like that.
dice. That's an extreme.
Oh.
So unless you get an extreme, he hits first.
Fighting brawl, 25, roll a 41. Extreme is a 5. You told me double points of luck, 36 points of luck. I don't have that.
Okay. That's not great.
No.
You rush towards heroically to stop the creature that attempted to sort of
Play
attack
40
your
bookers
wife.
with my wife.
As you close the distance, it's holding Tommy up against the wall. The head twists around, breaking the neck, and it fully like pushes up so you can see a second face emerge from the broken bone, one of a wooden mask that plunges out, the mouth opens, and a tongue lances towards your heart. You are going to take maximum damage,
Extreme.
which is going to be 10 points.
Bye.
I got 3 left.
Oh.
That's ages, but I might go down
Go ahead and make a constitution roll.
from a major wound. Major mood killer, more like. 92 over 60.
Okay.
I'm going to take a nap.
All right. You are speared by this thing and locked against the wall and fall down. The man repeats again, this time coming from both mouths.
Given willingly, and it will return. Catch the one that flees. Save yourselves. You cannot be loyal to them.
Go for your punch, and I'm going to riposte you as well.
Actually, can I change my action?
You may.
How far away is Amanda from me?
She's close.
Cool, can I yeet her in front of this thing?
Yeah, fuck it. You're being held, but yeah, 100%. Make a fighting brawl, oppose it. What's your builds?
Currently holding a camera or a phone, so I'm assuming not expecting this.
No, but you're being currently held by this thing like a phone, so we'll call it even Stevens.
Doing my best.
You are the phone in this situation.
Build 0.
Okay, all right, so build 0, and
Don't know what my build?
we'll just function as, we'll just assume you're both build 0. Go ahead and just do a fighting brawl oppose. Oh, you can do dodge if you want.
I am going to oppose with a dodge because it's a better chance. That is a 13.
Okay, that's a success.
That is a success. 2 for me.
It was a 78 over 55. Whoops.
Okay,
Whoops.
that's gonna fail, and as you're
Really?
held up and pushed against it, you try and grab at Amanda, but you can't wrench her in place. This thing repeats once more,
Given willingly, 2 bodies.
and holds her up. We are close on time. You have been pierced. You are fleeing. Manda and Ellie are probably the two that are still mostly in control, though Tommy, you can begin to sort of like lash out towards it and try and kick yourself away. What is everyone doing towards the end? Is anyone willing to try and kneecap an ally, send them down to be given to this thing, or is anyone willing to give themselves to this monster that will hopefully return it to rest?
They're my employees. I've got a contract. I'll give them, and I'll bend down to get a real close picture of this one more of this one, and back out of the room.
Okay. You begin to turn back, and as it reaches down, it begins to squeeze its thumbs towards Tommy's eyes, and with a crush, they're going to be squeezed closed, and like the rats Tommy popped coming inside, the cranium splatters across the wall. Amanda steps back and away, but there is one more still needs to be given. You've been speared and sort of pushed up against the wall, but it seems to ignore you, stalking after Ellie, who has rushed into the bedroom. You're trying to climb up. Can you give me a climb roll, actually?
No, she failed that bad boy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, drop her.
You tried to climb up. You can see there is an attic. There's a ladder that runs down to it. You just need to get to the door, to the drawstring, and you're leaping up and trying to grab it, but you're just short. And when you land and prepare yourself to jump again, you look over, and this figure's standing in the doorway. The straitjacket that was dangling limply has now been filled by elongated arms that reach the floor with sort of like ape-like morphology. The neck is broken up, and there's two faces looking down towards you, and it begins to stalk towards you. It's going to try and spear you. What is your response?
Ooh, we're gonna try to dodge.
Okay, go ahead. Make a dodge roll for me.
I have a question for you. Am I lucky enough to be near a window?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. We're gonna go out the window.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. We're just gonna take the leap. We're gonna take a leap of faith.
All right, go for it.
Her faith apparently isn't that good. That is gonna be a 63 over not enough.
Oh, shit, okay. Mine is just a normal success, but that is going to mean you are going to take 4 points of damage as it lances across and you get like sort of slammed against the wall, unable to escape. It stalks towards you, going, one more. You'll continue to film, or are you stepping back?
I'm getting all of this.
Paul, you've collapsed against the wall, unconscious and unbreathing. We're going to bring you back in because it's cool as. So you sort of sprint around doing a lap around the outside. You can't find an escape. You can't find anything. And something in the back of your head suddenly whispers,
Am I
Paul.
less crazy now? Less crazy. I don't want to be a widow. I'm going back inside. I'm going to... Paul.
You rush back inside and you see Mandus standing over this thing which is stalking across towards Ellie, lancing forward with these tendrils that spear into the wall and then wrench backwards. The woods have completely enclosed, so by the time you come back inside, they're actually brushing against the windows of the cottage itself, and there's nowhere else to go.
Can I, from beyond the grave,
Yeah,
maybe make a suggestion to our wonderful Shirley?
Mm-hmm.
There are tripods I set up in the room. Those do function like baseball bats if you swing them hard enough.
I'm going to stand over my husband. The woods are encroached. The woods have encroached. There's no way out. I looked. I did laps of the house. I'm very quick. I do a lot of cardio. I'm going to pick up a tripod and stand over my husband who's bleeding out on the floor and just take up a fighting stance. Just stand there. What the fuck? What?
Okay, all right, so you stand there holding your ground. Manda's in between you and the other thing, which is continuing to stalk towards Ellie. Ellie, what do you do?
Ellie, who is looking down the face of a camera of her boss, who she genuinely
I
hates.
can see her filming, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah!
Absolutely not. I was supposed to be on TV. This is going to be my big break. I'm cracking Manda over the head with the tripod.
All right, fuck yeah, hit her. Go make a fighting brawl roll. What do you want to do?
I'm too focused,
take a bonus
I see
dice.
nothing.
Absolutely not. Where's my bonus? Is that a 1?
Yeah, hell yeah, those.
That's a 1.
A 0-1.
That's a crit!
We call that a crit.
Fucking clean her ass up.
That's a critical.
How's that go down?
I'm just standing over the body of my prone husband, who is not dead. I can still, he's breathing. It's fine. It's good. It's fine. Is that bitch filming?
Yes, she is.
Not today. She's not. This was meant to be my big break. No, thank you. And I'm just going to straight over the head, straight down.
It cracks the back of the head like an egg, and you slam down on the ground, and as
And I'll
blood
do it again.
begins.
And I'll do it again. And I'll do it again. And I'll do it again.
As the one clean room in the house is sprayed with blood,
done with
rats,
cleaning.
cranial matter, the thing that was stalking after Ellie, who sort of moves towards the back of the wall and begins to rush away, it suddenly stops, and you can see it beginning to turn towards Shirley.
Bring it on.
Hey!
It steps into the room, and it says,
Given willingly.
As soon as it opens its mouth, I'm just going to swing the tripod at it.
okay.
It's going to get given. No.
You move towards it and you swing at it.
Go
It
it.
will riposte. Go ahead and make your attack.
That's
Is that a
good.
fucking
That's a
fumble?
fumble. That's 100. That's the other end of the spectrum, friends.
You
Not good.
smash down at this thing, and as you go to swing up at it, it stalks towards you, and before you can strike down, the blood that's beginning to seep down through the floorboards into the hidden basement below drops to the ground, and suddenly from underneath, vines wrap up from the inside of the house, tendrils growing up beneath floorboards and spear you with like 10,000 small needles of grass up all throughout your limbs, breaking out, and you are just frozen, caught in place, stuck in time.
Oh, well.
Still not given willingly. One more, or you all die.
There's 2 of us left.
Oh no,
What's
I'm
your
taking
reaction?
keys and that phone.
Get the
I'm
fuck
out.
out?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah, this is
Technically alive, it's
GTFO.
just-
Paul's technically still alive. You're unconscious, but we're going to say that that's more unable to act. You can talk. You've also just seen this
Just
thing.
bleeding out. You're good.
Good. All right.
Give it up. It just wants someone. Give it up.
Willingly.
Doesn't have to.
Given to the forest.
All right. We give her willingly.
Ellie?
Amanda?
Oh, Manda?
Still alive?
No, I
No, she's
I-
fucking
No,
she's
gone,
out.
gone.
Okay. It turns towards it and moves over, and the grass that's sort of grown over 2 of the bodies begins to bind and wrap them, twisting them and squeezing them into mulch. You can see the life being drained out of them. And as Ellie, as you get towards the other side and get towards the car, hands shaking into the van, you begin to start it. The lights flash on, and they are obfuscated by vines that are wrapped all around them, and immediately you just catch shapes moving in the darkness. It's as if there's dozens or hundreds of small rats on the outside, and it catches their beady little eyes looking down at you as you click it into reverse and begin to drive back and away. The woods have closed around it, but you can sort of break through trees and begin to reverse down towards Muscovy. You might escape. You might make it all the way down there, out of the woods, and you might be able to tell this story.
He's left Tommy behind.
Except I left the dash cam on, so the battery's dead.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, give us a luck roll. Let's make this a full set.
Yeah, sure. Luck
You
roll.
want to go for it?
What, my luck?
Yeah, let's do it. Are you okay with that?
yeah, go for
Let's
it.
do it.
Okay. Sure. Because my luck is a dead 50, so it's a 50-50 shot whether you live or die.
I like
go.
those odds.
35.
Okay. Only one will get out. You, in critical condition, might be able to scrape your way back, and a decision has to be made between the 2 of you as we go into our epilogue. The old rat catcher sacrificed things out here. He kept the green man in the woods at bay with yearly rituals, and as the month grew long, nothing was given to it, and it began to hunger for more and more. If one of you is willing to stay here and continue the rituals, you might be able to preserve Muscovy. You might be able to save these people, but if you both flee, eventually it will just be swallowed by the forest.
I mean, you've got a lovely statue of your wife.
What the fuck?
That's so cool.
They're right.
I'm here forever.
They're out of line, but they're right.
Well, someone's going to have to clean up this mess.
Oh, fuck yeah! All right. We have our new rat catcher.
I'll learn your rituals.
You'll find them in old books and forbidden tomes. You'll look in the basement and you'll find the bodies of the children that were once given to it.
Yeah,
You'll be
typical.
able to sacrifice more and more to the green man, and eventually it might just ask for too much. But we'll see how long you last. Elsewhere, Ellie, You've got footage. You've got recordings from mics and cameras. What do you do with it? Do you share this with the world, or do you burn it so no one even knows?
Oh, no, the entire world is going to suffer with me.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, no. I go, we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Gets published on some darknet website or whatever, and you spread this shit wild, and soon everyone's paranoid of the woods at their door. Or maybe it's the information that's given to them that might save their own small villages. And with that, we conclude our session of Call of Cthulhu.
Woo!
Well done. All right. Thank you all so much for coming down and sharing this story with us. You're a blast to run for and play with, and having an audience just makes this sort of just electric, and it's a lot of fun to do. We're going to do a drawing now for a giveaway of a couple of Call of Cthulhu pieces, so if you want to start a collection or expand it, this is your opportunity.
So, there's 8 of them. They're right at the front there. By the way, Reign of Terror, which is there, co-authored just here, by the way.
Ow! Yeah, tack him with a Sharpie, you'll sign it.
There's also a Call of Cthulhu leatherette keeper rulebook. That's
very good.
That's the limited.
Okay, you want to read out the colour and the number.
All right, is that the colour or is that the letter does it? Oh, there we got it. Apparently this is green. Ooh, that's appropriate. This is green B17.
Green
Yeah, the winner.
B17.
Hey!
Let me just film you as you come up.
Next, I'm going to have green B02. Jim, if you want to, yeah. You can. I think Jim will.
Take a pick.
This is blue E28.
Blue E28.
E28.
Do we have a blue?
I'll have it, that's all right.
Yeah, that's a gimme. You're allowed to keep that.
They may have passed. By the way, the number that you got is also your sanity rating. Okay. All right, got another one.
I've got green B52.
B52. Is that a winner up here? No?
Is that a plane or something?
No,
That's a plane, right? Yeah.
Is that a winner or not?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, we had some people fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one.
This is blue E44.
Hey!
So we've got 2 people coming down. How many prizes we got left? Just so we... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minus 2. So another...
4.
Another 4.
Weird way to count.
He's good at maths, that boy. Okay.
All right, this is blue E26.
Blue
Hey!
This is green B09.
Green B. Is anyone verifying the tickets, or are we just giving prizes out?
Stand up
to whoever
really
walks
confidently,
down?
and you'll have to fight Jim if you lie. Sorry, Big Jim.
He's Big Jim when he's fighting you.
All right, blue E08.
Hey!
Now we're moving.
Make some noise, please. We can't see shit.
How many we got left?
1. Really?
One more. All
One
right.
One more remaining. Final prize.
And for the final drawing, we have green B62.
Oh, I knew it.
There we
As
go.
you anticipated. All right, fantastic. All right, well, as you said, thank you all so much for coming down, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the con. If you want to jump into Call of Cthulhu, they're running demo tables as well, and there's always new and great content coming out. This was Scratch. I fucked with it a fair bit to condense it into a con scenario, so there's a lot more in there as well. So if you want to run for your own tables, I highly recommend it.
And before everyone leaves, thank you to our keeper for doing an amazing job.
And I forgot, let's run down the line and just let everyone know who you are and where you can be found, and then we'll call that pinned.
Once again, I'm Jackson. I'm Acton_Jackson on Twitter. Work with Campaign Coins and streaming with most of these fools every Saturday at 10 a.m. on the Chaosium Inc. Twitch channel.
Oath. Champion. Alex?
Hi, I'm Alex. VLXCAT on various social media, mostly on Twitter. I'd say, who are you calling a fool? But it's true, and he should say it. Streaming Call of Cthulhu on the Chaosium channel with these guys.
Beauty.
Every week.
Jimbo.
I'm James Coquilat at RoboPelican. I'm on Twitch as well in the same fantastic streaming group. That's the end of me.
Hey. Bridgett.
Hi guys, I'm getting away from that mic because I'm already loud enough. My name is Bridgett Jeffries. You can catch me at Bridgett. That is a
Bridge with two
It's a
T's.
bridge.
Wait, Bridge with one, two
across
T's.
with two T's.
Yeah, we made that way
bridge that
easier.
you walk across with two T's at chaosium.com. If you are interested in self-publishing Call of Cthulhu like this, where other people can play it in settings like this, feel free to give me an email. I can get you plugged in with all type of resources, classes, and things of that nature to make sure you get published.
Beauty.
Do it.
All right. And art.
I am Unfiltered Art. This has been the Stream of Chaos, and I'm pretty sure my hat says it all. That's all, folks.
Champion. All right, and I am Dave. I am at Good Tip Fun Trip. I run games on Call of Cthulhu as well. We're currently running Two-Headed Serpent, so hop into the Twitch channel and hope to see you around. Enjoy PAX.
Thank you very much.
All right.